Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and WQAM AM Miami. An Odyssey sports station.
Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
The game is ended, and now we begin. It's Game Day Uncensored, Postgame edition. Real talk, real reaction, real opinions for real Miami football fans on FM 104.3 WQAM, Miami sports leader.
Who? Jack Jones. Who? Jack Jones. Jack Jones makes the big play. Had a fantastic day, by the way, but it capped it off with a big interception on the first play of overtime. And in a game between the Dolphins and the Commanders that didn't see a whole lot of defense, at least not very efficient defense, it comes the play of the game on defense from Jack Jones, first play in overtime, intercepting Marcus Mariota, setting up a short field goal. And of course, Riley Patterson kicking the winning field goal. Ironic, yes, that you were playing at a soccer stadium and there was a whole lot of field goals and kicks determining the game. Miami Dolphins secondary also much maligned. Remember, Jalen Ramsey gets traded in the offseason. Kader Kahu gets hurt before the season even starts, and we figured they were just going to be Swiss cheese. They've actually held up pretty well with what they have. Jack Jones coming in the preseason, basically last chance in his career. He realized he has made some mistakes in the past, but he was called on to step up, and today Jack Jones played like a true winner for the Miami Dolphins, getting that 16-13 win. Who? Jack Jones. Now, there's a lot to unpack in this game. There was a lot to be frustrated about in this game. How you doing? I am Dan Day, by the way. Robert Grieper joining me. You can call in. We'll check your calls. 305-567-0560. That's 305-567-0560. I don't know what I was more frustrated with. Was I more frustrated that we were 13 for 13 in the red zone? Every time we've gotten in the red zone this season, all 13 times we scored a touchdown. Not just gotten points, scored a touchdown. Today, we get stopped 0 for 2 on 4th and goal situations, and I was really frustrated towards the end of regulation with about 1:41 left. Seemed to be going fine. We get that muffed punt, get down to the goal. We're moving the ball, get stopped. Don't kick the field goal. Don't worry about kicking the field goal. No, we get stopped on the goal line, and you go, oh my goodness. And sure enough, what happens? Washington starts marching. You figure, oh no, we should have kicked the field goal. But no, Washington also missed their field goal, sending into overtime. We win the coin toss. Tua decides, since both teams have a shot at winning the game, it's no sudden death anymore, we will kick so we can kind of counter what Washington does. Doesn't matter. First play, Jack Jones, interception. Dolphins win. Two really bad teams, though. Didn't seem like either team really wanted to win, but the Dolphins do go to Madrid and get the win. How do you feel? 305-567-0560. As I've said all year long, I'm happy. I'm elated. I believe in winning. I don't believe in losing on purpose, tanking, draft picks. No. Got to feel good. 305-567-0560. Let's go to the phone lines. 104.3 FM WQAM. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Go ahead. Sounds like they got the party going on. The brunch was heavy. One more time. Nope. They hung up. Man, those Bloody Marys and Bloody Beers and mimosas will get you on a Sunday morning. One more time. We'll try it. 305-567-0560. You can call in. 104.3 FM WQAM. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jackson, calling from Madrid.
Go ahead. You're in Madrid, Jackson?
Yeah.
Holy goodness. How is it out there?
Oh, my God. It's packed with people.
How you feeling?
Oh, great. Hey, I have one thing to say.
Go ahead.
You know what Kirk Cousins did when he won his first Commanders game? You like that? You like that, Commanders? You like that?
That's what I like to hear. I like it a lot, Jackson.
And also, Jack Jones. Jack Jones. Jack Jones. Jack Jones. He had a play of the game, man.
Jack Jones.
I love that,
Jack Jones Jack Jones had a great day today. I'm not gonna lie. They called a pass interference on him that was not pass interference, and everyone agreed it wasn't pass interference, but the referee thought it was pass interference. Jack Jones on his last lifeline. He knew this was his last stop in the NFL if he didn't get things right. Said he approached it all differently. He had some issues in the past with carrying weapons in the airports and some other things like that, but he has gotten it right here, and he has been a stalwart for this Dolphins defense. 305-567-0560. Back to the phone lines, 104.3 FM WQAM. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
What's going on, boss? My name's Ross. How's it going?
Ross, boss. What's going on, dude? What you got?
Yo, pushing it to the limit, always. Let me tell you, hey, like I said, I love the Dolphins. That's squad to the death. I love the Dolphins, but this is, listen, a win is a win is a win.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take it. I will take it. However, my problem at the end of the day is you're not solving the problem. This requires surgery, and you're putting Band-Aids on it. That fourth down call to go for it is inexcusable.
I didn't like it.
The field goal.
I did not like that.
Oh, my.
Oops. I think I hung up on him accidentally. Did I hang up on him? No, wait. Hold up. Let's go back to him. I'm sorry about that. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Ross.
Nah, you're good. Nah, listen. Kick the field goal at that point. And it's like, my problem is, like, McDaniel is one of these privileged people in life that, like, they just keep getting lucky time and time again, where it deters from the fact that they're just inept as people. Like, bro, that was the most bozo thing I've ever seen in my entire life. It's infuriating. Now, again, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. I'm okay with that. But at the same time, like, that's not going to help you long term. Like, both of these teams are like, they're bozo teams. Like, these teams aren't going anywhere. So what do you think are you really going to try and do this against, like, the Patriots or the Bills, or actually, I guess the Bills doesn't matter, but, like, these other teams are good. Like, it's going to give him more time to keep doing more bozo things. And that's what's infuriating. Like, you're giving him not more lives. He already has 9 lives, and you're giving him more lives. And it's because it makes no sense. It makes no sense to not kick that field goal. Like, you should have fired him right there.
Ross, I'm with you on that. I thought he should have kicked the field goal for obvious reasons, but also, what message are you sending to your defense? Like, look, kick the field goal and trust in your defense with 1:41 that they can possibly get a stop or do something like that. Give your team a chance to win. They were already stopped earlier. You figure, okay, Devon Achane is hurt. Your best player is not in the game. And then you line up like that and expect Ollie Gordon, when the other team most likely knows exactly what you're doing. I thought it was a bad call. It ended up being a bad call. But, yeah, it got lucky, though. Look, they had to rely on the defense, and the defense came through.
I'll take it. Listen, at the end of the day, I will take it. You give them you give credit where credit's due, and you're fair. However, like I said, I've been saying this since the day he got hired. This guy's a bozo. He is a bozo, and he got hired because he's a bozo. He's not serious. He's a clown. They hired him because they can basically put him on the marionette, and they can make him dance and do whatever they want him to do. He's not serious. He's a clown. Again, good person, great offensive mind. Like the guy. But as a more so as a play caller, head coach, I don't know. I got my reservations. Again, prove me wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
Hey, look, you got the Saints next week. They're basura. And then you got the Jets the next week. And then the following week, you go to Pittsburgh, who hasn't looked too great either. So
he keeps lucking out. That's my problem. He keeps lucking out. Like, he was born on third base, and he can't get to fourth. Like, let me tell you. Like, no, seriously, he inherited Tyreek Hill. He got granted. He requested Hill, but he already basically, the coach previously did all the work for him. They did all the hard work. You inherited basically a Pro Bowl defense. You inherited the quarterback. You inherited Waddle. You had to add bare minimal stuff to it to make it work. And
I'm telling you,
I thought they take defeat from the jaws of victory so many times. It's infuriating.
They tried to grasp the defeat out of the jaws of victory today, but both teams kind of seem to be on folly for that.
Exactly. Nobody wanted to win. They just wanted that draft pick.
Ross the boss, I can't say you're lying, but both teams, frustrating for both fans. But at least if you're in Madrid enjoying. 305-567-0560. You're going to go out to my dude Duty in Atlanta. Duty, what's up, man?
Oh, Dan Day, where you at?
I'm feeling good. We won.
yeah, a win is a win and blah, 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 but neither team deserved that.
No, you're right.
That should have been a tie. That should have ended in nobody wins.
That's what I thought was going to happen because both teams didn't seem like they wanted it. So I figured, they'll just piddle around for 10 minutes and everybody will go home unhappy.
Yeah, that was, you want to talk in Spanish? Yeah, basura.
Well, we did make Marcus Mariota look good for 4 quarters. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, if anyone can, we can. Hey, you know who I keep saying we paid way too much for, right?
I mean, there's a myriad of guys, I think, but I would say probably Tua Tagovailoa.
It's Waddle.
That's okay. Waddle. Yeah.
Those were some huge drops, man. Like that is basura too.
He did have that big drop there, and then he said, "It's on me. It's on me." You don't have to tell us that, Waddle. We knew you.
Yeah, it was twice though. Like I mean, I've heard like, oh, people think he could be a number 1, but no, dude, he's a number 2. Like obviously, yeah, it'd be nice to have Tyreek, but he's getting way too much money too. Like the money has not been spent in the right places, and that's pretty clear by Chris Greer. Oh, mutually parting ways. Yeah. Stephen Ross started that statement with, I have decided. And then he said, we mutually parted ways. Yeah, no, you didn't. Hey, stop lying.
Yeah, and a big day today like today, Waddle did not help out his quarterback very much. And you know where some money is going to be need to spend very soon as this season comes to a close. There's one guy that's going to demand the house and probably should get it.
H-Chan.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he's solid, man. It's that's a guy you got to keep around, but there's so many guys that we got to just part ways with, maybe mutually, but either way, we
decide to mutually part ways. You say so somebody decides to mutually part ways.
Yeah, I've mutually decided that we're going to cut you.
Devon Achane really is the offense. I mean, it's Achane, a break for Achane, back to Achane, but.
Yeah, he's the new Ricky Williams, man. He's you just got to lean on him as heavy as you can. But again, either way, like that was such garbage. Like neither team deserved to win. And yeah, it was fun to see, a nice little Spain game. But I mean, come on, like that was just trash. It was such a bad game.
Yeah, I know. We exported some garbage over there to Spain. So you're welcome, Spain fans. But nonetheless, we got the win. Hey, look, give Jack Jones credit where Jack Jones gets credit due, and we're feeling good, duty. So. Appreciate you, man. We'll talk to you soon. Ooh, Jack Jones. 305-567-0560 on 104.3 FM WQAM. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Gameday. It's Steve from Sunrise. How you doing?
Steve, good to hear from you, man. I'm doing pretty good, man. I know it feels like a win, kind of doesn't feel like a win, but overall, I'm happy.
Dandy, I want to, if you indulge me for a second, I want to talk something about coaching. As far as I'm trying to think of the key word, arrogance, and I'm going to talk about the Washington Commanders coaching arrogance, and they should blow the Dolphins out. And if you indulge me for a second, and this is why last week I know it was a complete win, but when the Dolphins were dancing in the locker room and all that stuff, and all week on all these channels and everything, they're saying the Dolphins have a chance, they're back, they could do this and that. This is why they're not, because coaching arrogance by the Commanders, if you can indulge me for a second. Number one, the first time they had a chance to go for a touchdown at the end, I think the first part of the game when they had a chance to go up 7, they run on a 4th down. They have Deebo Samuel. They have that Rodriguez guy, and they run Mariota to the right. Just roll him out to the right and try to get him in the end zone. I mean, that was the dumbest play I've ever seen. See, that's coaching arrogance on the Kingsley part. The other coaching arrogance parts, never once did they fake the handoff and let Mariota try to hit the corner. Never once. The guy has speed. Again and again, when it was towards the goal line, they ran a stupid play right up the middle and got stuck by the Dolphins. I mean, again, coaching arrogance. Coaching arrogance to have a guy punting who's never caught a punt in 2 years at the end of the game. Coaching arrogance. Like, see, I'm so sick of, like, these NFL coaches aren't as good as they are. That team will the coaching mistakes on that red. And see, I'm agree with the last guy, because this is what happens. The Dolphins win it because it was a Commander's loss, really. Right. And now, yes, they beat this. If they're going to beat the Saints, they're going to beat the Jets. And here we are again, 500. Everybody's talking about this. They're going to be a 500 team. This isn't Mike McDaniel and genius. It is coaching arrogance by their teams who don't make it. One more thing. How do you not? That one play with Achane where it was the fake, like he faked it was over the head and he pitched it to Achane. Achane was caught 7 yards behind the backfield. those guys look like they couldn't tackle. This is the NFL. Again, it's coaching arrogance. If I was a defense, I would have 3 guys on HN. Shut them down.
Yeah.
Who cares if they do something else? But again, these coaches in the NFL think they're so much smarter than everybody else. They're so much better than everybody else. And they don't stick to the basics. That was a joke by the Commanders and Dolphin fans. If you think you're back, you're crazy.
We shall see in the coming weeks. But yeah, I would be, if I were a defensive coordinator or a coach or anything, I would definitely put a spy on HN. And I'm not saying they don't, but I would shift everybody towards HN, because there are times where it's blatantly obvious that this Dolphins team has nothing on offense except for Devon HN. And oh yeah, by the way, the element of going deep downfield, Robert Grieper, it's getting to the point where I'm not angry, I'm embarrassed. When Tua throws that quote unquote like a punt, which they did on first down today, the only reason he didn't get picked off is because the cornerback had bad hands. His deep balls, yeah, it's embarrassing.
I'm wondering where it went, because it's not there.
No,
it's gone.
He's struggling with a thumb issue. We knew that earlier in the year. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's the bad hip. But Grieper.
But here's the thing: is if it was a thumb issue, at least the way I look at it, that'd be more on accuracy, not on the strength down the field.
You can't go down the field.
No,
and he throws it into double coverage to make it worse. He throws lame ducks into double coverage. Should have been picked off. But
I mean, he was facing the Oregon Duck out there on the field, but
true.
you know.
305-567-0560. Back to the phone lines. 104.3 FM WQAM. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Leon from Pembroke Pines.
Go ahead, Leon.
Hey, we talked last week about the Buffalo game and how we felt, and if it was a win, if it was a loss.
How does this one
feel?
feel
The same way, right?
Yeah, I kind of feel like I won. It's like kissing your cousin, man.
If we're gonna win all these games like this, I'll take it, right? If a win's a win.
Leon, are we kissing our cousin with these wins?
Win the Super Bowl. If they keep winning games like this, they better win the Super Bowl.
What if we do? What if we go on a miraculous run, Leon, and win out the season?
Every game is like this, then guess what? Half our fans are going to be dead from heart attacks.
I'm dying right now. I'm not going to lie. Leon, I kept thinking the game was over, so I kept coming from where I was watching the game to in the room to get ready for the post-game show. I'd go back and forth because neither team wanted to take this win until Jack Jones was like, all right, enough's enough.
No, but I'll tell you something about Mike McDaniel. This game was the game where I said, he's not the guy.
I did not like his choices in this game.
Listen, the first one, I didn't have no problem with going for it. But the second one, with fourth quarter, minute 40 left, game tied, you take the points. That's common sense.
Trust your defense.
You know, they've done nothing the whole game. You know, the other team, they didn't really do too much. I wasn't worried about it. But when they came out and went for it, I was like, and then they almost killed A-Chain. I said, they finally did it. They killed him. He's done.
Luckily, when he went down, and I was like,
anybody else on the team?
Well, I was nervous because Jonas Avianaya was taking a knee, and usually when players take a knee, it's a serious injury, but he was just tired.
Right,
so thank goodness.
Exactly. When I saw our guys on knees, I said, that's it. He's dead. We're done.
Where are we going to get it? I'm going to ask you this then. Hopefully this doesn't happen. If Devon Achane is hurt or can't play, where are we going to get offense from?
Listen, that's on the quarterback too. You know, always hitting the check down. I mean, they're going to leave it open for him. He's gonna hit it every time. He's going to take it. He's going to take it. 'Cause this guy's not throwing the ball downfield, and when he does, it's those arm punts. You know what I mean? On third and long.
He did it on first down this day. You remember last week they said it's okay because it's on third down. It's like a punt.
Yeah.
Today they did it on first down, and they got lucky that the cornerback had stone hands.
But I'm also thinking that's a little bit of the people's voices getting to Tua's ear a little bit because he was never making those throws. And now he's like, okay, you guys want me to throw it deep? I'll throw it deep. And you guys get what you get. You know, kind of like I told you so. That's why I don't throw it. And did you really think he was going to throw a Hail Mary at the end of the game?
No, I knew. If I could have bet it in live time, I would have bet the house that they were going to try to run.
I would have bet my house and your house.
Big bank, man. Big bank. Yeah, I was like, we're definitely not going to try to throw it deep downfield. This is going to be one of those underneath. And H.N. even just kind of gave up on the play. He caught it, looked around, and just kind of ran down. Like, what are we going to do?
My main thing is if we're going to keep playing like this, because this is the team we are. Last week was a fluke. We it wasn't a fluke, but it was more so of Buffalo kind of didn't take us too serious and kind of got punched in the mouth early and didn't recover.
Right.
this is who we are. We are a 13-point game team.
Yeah.
That's who we are. We don't score we don't drive the ball. That's maybe past seasons, but this season, this game that you saw, that's who we are. And if we're going to keep winning games like this, then they better win the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl or bust for the Miami Dolphins. Yeah, I thought both defenses were atrocious. I also thought we got checked down Charlie from the two Hawaiian quarterbacks. There was nothing explosive in this game outside of a couple of runs from Devon Achane. And, of course, Washington went down the field a little bit more than Tua did. But nonetheless, hey, look. A win is a win is a win is a win. This Dolphins team has a formula. Obviously, they've done it against Atlanta. They did it against the Bills. They executed today. They want to hold the ball. They want to have long, sustained drives. They want to get down and hopefully score touchdowns. A lot of field goals and a lot of stops on the goal line. Both teams got stops on the goal line. Both teams missed field goals. Well, no, wait, we didn't miss a field goal. They missed a field goal, but we got the big interception in the end to get the big win. 305-567-0560. Let's see, 104.3 FM WQAM. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jose from Fort Myers.
What's on your mind, Jose?
I'm the one that called like a couple of weeks ago with these Dolphin fans bad-mouthing the Dolphins when they get a win. They bad-mouth the Dolphins when they lose. And I just can't understand these Dolphin fans. I've been listening to them for years. We got to win. You know, Jack Jones got an interception at the end of the game, and they're talking about all this garbage. I've only heard one guy, the lady, talk good about the Dolphins. You know what? We got to win.
That's it.
And yes, Mike McDaniels took a risk. It was a calculated risk. I thought it was a bad decision. I agree with some of them.
Right.
But come on, man. Come on. What's going on with these Dolphin fans, bro? I've been a Dolphin fan for more than 35 years, and I can't understand these Dolphin fans criticizing their team for winning.
Right. And this is my thing, that I always enjoy the wins for this reason, because nothing's promised tomorrow, number one in life, but even in the draft, you know, you have these things like win now, start building this winning culture, and maybe it goes on further. There's no guarantees in the draft. If you have a high draft pick, you're going to get somebody good. Patrick Mahomes wasn't a top 5 draft pick. Some of these guys,
that's right,
they do slip. You got to believe that the person you put in charge of the draft will make the right decisions and get the best player and get the right personnel.
And I'm going to say something else. That last guy that said the Bills tanked it last week, that's bullcrap. We won that game. We had a full game with defense and offense. The Buffalo Bills did not tank that game. We won that game, heart and soul, man. That is just uncalled for, and we need to start just getting a little bit more positive about our team. I hope everybody else looks at it the way I do, and go Dolphins, man.
Happy Jose right there. I do think the Dolphins went out there and won the game last week. I do also think the Buffalo Bills got kind of caught in a trap and kind of sleeping. But nonetheless, a win is a win is a win, especially in the NFL. Today, you found a way to win. I was going to say saved by the muffed punt. I thought, we're going to walk this thing in and kick a field goal and come away with the win. Well, didn't go that easy. We got stopped on 4th down. 13 for 13 in the red zone this year. All 13 times touchdowns. 0 for 2 today. Mike Dale maybe should have kicked that field goal, trust his defense, but what do I know? We still got to win. Hey, look, Jack Jones. Who? Jack Jones. One more phone call, 305-567-0560 before we go to break. 104.3 FM WQAM. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, what's up? It's Alejandro. I'm calling from Madrid.
Oh, Alejandro, break it down. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm calling from a restaurant in Coral Gables in Madrid, and I'm really from Madrid, but
same difference.
Same difference, yeah. The team that played the best didn't win. The team that played the worst lost, man. It was a really bad brand of football. However, we got the win. We go to the next game. Let's see what happens. But let's celebrate it for now. You know, the Dolphins won. I'm happy when they win. I don't believe in tanking either. So let's see what happens going forward.
Alejandro, it kind of feels like one of those things. You're at a bar and a hot girl, you know, decides to go home with you, and the next morning she goes, "Man, everybody at the bar was ugly. You're not really that attractive, but you're the best that I had to choose from, so I chose you." You're like, "Hey, that was a win for me."
That's exactly what it seems like. The bottom line is that I'm an armchair play caller, but I would have kicked the field goal there.
Yes.
However, at the end it worked out. We won. That's what counts. And let's just go forward. Let's see what happens. So let's be Dolphin fans. cheer for the Dolphins and not wish for tanking.
Nope.
Because tanking is not the way to go.
Nope. It's a bad attitude and a bad culture to have. And look, you got the Saints who, trust me, it hurts my heart to tell you this, that they're absolutely trash. You got the Jets. Doesn't hurt my heart to tell you they're absolutely trash. And then you got the Pittsburgh Steelers. Once again, not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but they aren't really burning up the world, although they do have a good defense. So there's some wins there. And you know what? I'd rather take an ugly win any day over a pretty loss.
Hey, we keep on getting ugly wins, and Kiko Mawanoa might be there for us. Forget about drafting a quarterback. We've got to build the trenches. Let's build the trenches, try to get Kiko, and go forward.
Might be the best thing for us. I believe in winning. I like winning. And like Grieber, I'd rather win ugly every single day than to lose pretty.
Yeah, but look what they're doing out there. I mean, seriously, if you're continuously doing this, what's that say about your future?
Yeah, I understand.
It's the way I'm looking at it is if you're going for a bomb on first down into double coverage, what are you thinking? If you're going for on fourth down after your top offensive weapon, Achane, is knocked out of the game and you're going for it on fourth down instead of kicking a field goal, what are these decisions going forward going to do to impact your future? And that's the way I'm looking at it.
I know Mike McDaniel's going to take some heat, and rightfully so, for going for it on fourth down with 1:40 left in the game and not making it. But he's going to say, what's the big deal? We won the game. He's going to play the result. And, I mean, you know what? In the end of the day, that's what you always say. But, yes, Grieber, there are some fundamental problems. We know who this – and, you know, we got the caller saying, we know who our team is. We know what their game plan is. We know that they're limited in certain areas. But if they keep finding ways to win, and we know that, you know, it might be the same old, we're right back around 500 with a little bit to play for, and then a good team comes in there and whoops us. But what we do know is this team is finding ways to win, and maybe they have a formula, and it seems like they do have this formula that kind of works for them. Hold the ball.
Yeah, but the concern is that I can understand with the pieces that you have on your team, this is what you have to deal with, and that's what you have, because you obviously are not making upgrades at this time of the season.
Nope.
However, the coaching decisions are the ones that baffle me.
Right.
Because if you're saying that this is the guy who's going to lead your franchise into the future, what does that say about your franchise?
It does scare me, some of the things that Mike McDaniel does call. And sometimes, you know, it seems like the obvious and he goes the other way. And sometimes maybe he's too cool for school. I'm just saying. One more phone call, 305-567-0560, 104.3 FM WQAM. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Howie from New York.
Howie, what's going on?
You guys are talking a lot about, you know, what if they lost this game? How much would we be all roasting McDaniel?
Absolutely.
That call, dude, that call was atrocious.
It was not good.
It was a minute 20 left in the game, no timeout, and you don't trust your defense. That game should have been won right there. If they lost that game, everyone would be calling for him to be fired.
Yes.
And this so-called offensive genius, I call him every single week, scored 6 points in the first half. This is a team that has given up, has lost the last 4 games in a row by 20 or more points. We score 6. I am so sick and tired of these Dolphins fans referring to him. Can we all just stop calling him an offensive genius? He's a dumb idiot who almost cost us the game today. And I agree with you that tanking is not the way to go. But the fear here is we're running this back again with Tua, who's basically Ryan Tannehill Part 2, like Dave Hyde wrote about in the newspaper. I couldn't agree more. And Mike McDaniel, he is not the answer as a coach. I want to take the financial pain. I know how bad it's going to be, but I'd rather start all over with a new GM, a new quarterback, and a new coach. And that's how I feel. I mean, I cannot go into next season with Tua and Mike McDaniel again. This is not working. This is the definition of average, and it's time to rip it down to the studs, man. This is not a championship team.
Yeah, rip it down.
In the quarterback position and in the head coach position. It's just not. How many years do we need to see mediocrity?
Howie, I have no real insight in this, but I could definitely see an instance where this happens next year, no matter how this season finishes out. But let's just say it finishes out, you know, mediocre to average. I could see hiring a new general manager and them giving him or her a somewhat soft landing, saying, look, we know you probably want to bring in your own quarterback, your own coach, you're on this, you're on this, you're on this, but we're going to give you a soft landing, a year to kind of get your affairs straight. We're already paying Tua. We already got Mike McDaniel on his extension. You get 1 year to kind of just get your affairs straight. See what you got with Tua. See what you got with Mike McDaniel. Then after that 1 year, which would be next year, then you could start really cleaning house. So you might, I'm saying in that instance, if that happens, and I could see it happening, you might get another year of Mike McDaniel and Tua.
But we know what we have with them. We've seen it. It's mediocrity.
But we got a new general manager now.
But we don't. Are we going to run this guy back? I mean, like this interim guy? Why don't you bring in a real GM and let him choose his own coach and let us suck next year and let's be this quarterback class is not even a good class this year. But we could there are 2 years from now when we think next year, we literally can have a top 3 pick and finally draft a quarterback that's going to lead us for the next 10 years.
Yeah, I am a little concerned about Tua Tagovailoa. He got outplayed by Marcus Mariota as far as numbers wise, although Marcus Mariota had an interception. That one really cost his team. But the ability that Tua has to throw accurate passes but not deep passes really does kind of scare me. And I'm hoping that maybe there's some type of injury that's prohibiting him from doing that. I'm hoping that's not something that's going to be around permanently, because offenses and defenses can really tee off on that. A guy that can't run and that can't throw the ball deep down the field. Robert Grieber, is that good or not good?
The problem is that he's extremely predictable. He really is. I mean, the offense is extremely predictable.
I don't see how they don't pile in on a Devon Achane more.
And that's the other problem is that teams have already game planned for this, and you've seen it all year. I'm kind of in the same boat as the caller as why don't the Dolphins do what the Denver Broncos did? They ate that contract of Russell Wilson, went with Bo Nix, and how's that working out for them?
Yeah, pretty
You
good.
have a blueprint that now, mind you, their head coach is also a quarterback whisperer, except he actually knows what he's doing with quarterbacks.
He's a little more proven than Mike McDaniel.
Yeah, he's kind of won a Super Bowl with your boy Drew Brees there, you know?
I was really worried the first year or two with Mike McDaniel. I said, be patient. He's a rookie head coach or a second-year head coach. He's learning. He's going to learn. He's going to progress. And I keep saying the same things like, he's not a rookie head coach anymore, but he's still making, whether it be hubris, overconfidence, or just dunderheadedness, making calls and plays and doing things that don't always totally make sense to me.
And the other thing is that remember when he came in here, he was all buddy good, with every single player. Now he's trying to be a little bit more of a hard ass here. And I don't know how that works when you have a roster that already saw you as the buddy guy.
Right. That's the thing. I think he realizes now and give him credit. Good coaches adjust. He's trying to adjust to what the team needs. The only problem is the team's probably not going to adjust their attitude towards you. So that's going to be hard to be the tough guy now when you've kind of proven to your team that you're the friend, the cool guy. So
that's something that'll work in a new franchise. It won't work here because you've already established what you are.
Right.
It's like the good old Dennis Green thing. You are what you said you are.
Yeah. But he gets a win today. Mike McDaniel. Did they win in spite of Mike McDaniel? Or did Mike McDaniel help this team win today? We shall talk it out. Go until 4 o'clock. Want to hear from you. 305-567-056. You can also jump on the YouTube and Twitch. That's 104.3 WQAM. If you're in Spain, listening on the Odyssey app, we've already had one caller from Spain, from Madrid. Watch us on YouTube. Chime in. 305-567-0560. Dolphins win 16-13 over the Washington Commanders. Or some people would say Washington Commanders lose 13-16 to the Miami Dolphins. However you want to look at it, we want to hear from you. Call in. We'll be back after this. This is Game Day Uncensored Postgame on 104.3 FM WQAM.
1043 or on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps. Same great shows, same great games. Plus, you can use the rewind feature and listen to anything you missed. Go for it.
Now, let's get back to the Game Day Uncensored postgame show on FM 1043 WQAM, Miami's sports leader.
Fact of the matter is, the Miami Dolphins do win today 16-13 in overtime against the Washington Commanders. Whether you like the play calling, especially with about 1:40 left, going for it on 4th and goal instead of kicking the field goal and trusting your defense, the result is a win. And fact of the matter is, you have quote-unquote winnable games ahead of you. You come back home, not next week, but the next week, so you get a bye after the international travel. You get the New Orleans Saints, who are really bad. And I've watched a couple of their games this year, and it's rough right there. Then you go to the Jets, weather being whatever it may be. The Jets are really bad. Then you get a night game, Monday night game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, who, if you get the good Steelers, you're in trouble. You get the bad Steelers, you're okay. So are you feeling as though you might be sitting in the catbird seat if you're a Miami Dolphins fan? Let me know. 305-567-0560. You can also jump in on the YouTube and Twitch. LaShun Brown, 7405, actually had a very good point and said that Tua is better than Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones. They've just got better coaches and are on better teams. Is it Tua's being held back by Mike McDaniel? Or is it Mike McDaniel being held back by Tua? Or are they both holding each other back? I want to hear from you. 305-567-0560. Let's go on out to the phone lines. 1043 FM, WQAM. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Go ahead.
Hey, it's Sean from near Ocala, Florida. How are you guys?
Good to hear from you, Sean. Happy, man. I'm happy with the win. A win is a win is a win in the NFL for me.
Exactly. And I was thinking about it as I was watching things. The defense of the Redskins played out of their minds. But the previous couple games, Dan Quinn wasn't calling the plays. He went to play caller. It changed everything for that defense, and they played really well. They know, and he knows Mike McDaniel really well too. So the fourth down, I would have kicked it as well. Got a little, or at least let's try something outside. Let's not try going up the middle again. Let's do something where we can go get Ollie Gordon out in space. I don't know, but
yeah. The other thing that was upsetting is Devon Achane was hurt previously, so your best player wasn't even in the game. And the best coaches, they call players sometimes, not plays. Yeah, it's a little questionable right there.
Right. Yeah, true. But it's the thing is that enjoy the win, Dolphins fans. I mean, I've been a fan. I was born down there, raised there, and I love my team regardless. I mean, do I want to see some changes? Sure,
of course.
Do I? Exactly, but do I enjoy every win we can get? Because every win in the NFL is really, really hard to do. So yeah, I'm going to take it.
I don't blame you. I'm going to enjoy it too. Whew, getting those win. It seemed almost like the Dolphins did win, but more like the Commanders did lose, and the Dolphins kind of tried to lose, but they did win. One of those things, man, a little bit frustrating. I thought both defenses were not very good at all. I thought both offenses moved up and down the field. Not a lot of stops, not a lot of turnovers till the overtime when Jack Jones stepped up. Jack Jones stepped up. Defenses were, I don't think. Anyone,
although it held them to field goals, though.
Yeah, that's also the offenses. But I thought the teams moved up and down the field at will, hence why there was only 2 or 3 possessions each quarter, because it was just long, sustained dinks and dunks and some good runs by Devon Achane. But anyway, you get the win. 305-567-0560, 1043 FM, WQAM. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is the president and CEO of Tuanon.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, man, I just wanted to shout out my boy Brewski last week, man. When he called in, he told it like it was, man. All the Dolphin fans calling in, crying and complaining about McDaniels and the offense. It's like, bro, we're out here winning.
We are?
It's like, how are you going to complain about a win? Like, come on, man. This team is finally coming together. You saw last week from the locker room, these players rally around McDaniel, and you're going to say, get McDaniel out of here? Come on, man. This team is finally getting his footing, man.
Hey, look, they came up with some magic against the Atlanta Falcons. They said they rebottled it. It didn't work against the Ravens because they had a short week and they couldn't work everything out. But since that Falcons game, they got a full week against the Bills they prepared for. That was their game of the year. They had a full week to prepare for the Washington Commanders. They got another win. Maybe they bottled up some magic and they have maybe a magical run in them towards this end of the season.
That's what I'm saying, Dan Day. I know you and me go way back like front seats in a Cadillac, and I might be a little tore up from the floor up. But my 30-second mimosa told me today at that VIP party, Dolphins winning out, baby.
Wow.
Every game the rest of this year, they're going to win out. Let's go!
That's what I want from Dolphins fans right there, celebrating during the game and after the game. Mimosas and toe up from the flow up. It's going to be a long day. It's only 1:33 right now, but you know what? I'd be doing the same thing. I can't lie. I can't throw stones in this glass house. If I wasn't here at the radio station, I'd be somewhere like on the rocks or Bob's Your Uncle in my neighborhood, drinking some beers and cheering on the Dolphins. And those beers go down so much sweeter when you have a victory to enjoy them with.
That is a lot of mimosas there.
Hey, if it's bottomless, why not?
I mean, just the amount of orange juice there. I mean, geez.
Goodness. And the more you drink, the stronger the mimosa is, the less orange juice you use. I'm just saying, 305, 305-567-0560, 104.3 FM, WQAM. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Go ahead.
Hey, Dan, how are you? This is Anthony from Long Island. How are you, sir?
Anthony, good to hear from you.
Yeah, always good to talk to you, sir. You do a great job and I appreciate everything you do. So, okay, it's a win, yes. Am I happy about a win? Yes and no. Yes, because I hate to lose. I don't care in life who wants to lose. But at the end of the day, this last caller, I totally disagree with him. Not that he's jubilant about a victory.
Right.
Great. I'm with you on that. But are you kidding me? You really think that a good plan is to have Mr. McDaniel and Tua on the same team last year? And I understand contractual obligations and the money, and I get all of that. It's part of the business end of it. But the last thing I want to see is those two mugs walking into next season and knowing that, this is going to happen again. It's mediocrity. Yes, it's nice to win because, once again, I hate to lose, but it's mediocrity. We're festering mediocrity, and it's been that way for a long time. And I don't know how anyone else could disagree with that.
Right. Well, let's be realistic, too. For all the people that are calling in saying, how come Dolphins fans aren't happy about a win? You can be happy about your win, but still break down finer points of the game. I don't think people are mad at the Dolphins for winning or upset for them winning. I think it's more like what we're doing. Happy for the win. But I do have to ask Mike McDaniel, why he didn't kick the field goal. I do have to ask, why is Marcus Mariota looking like an all-pro? So we're not mad at the win. We're not upset. We're just kind of trying to break down things. And the other thing is this, let's be realistic. A great percentage of the chance is when you bring a new general manager in, they want to cook with their own groceries. So I don't really see an instance where this general manager, he, she, or they are going to come in, however you want to do it, because I know the Dolphins are crazy sometimes, and going to come in and say, you know what? This roster's good enough. I think I can do something with it. They're probably going to make some pretty serious changes. So don't be too scared. Don't be too worried.
I don't know if they don't hire a new GM for next year, and if this gentleman Champ Kelly, correct? If they retain him, and I can't really rip the guy because I really don't know a lot about him other than a little bit of his past, and that he made one small trade. I'm sure his hands were tied going forward with the team, because Mr. Ross probably doesn't want to blow everything up without the GM behind all of those decisions. But it's not we have to change. I'm sorry. Hey, end of the day, I'm happy we won. I am, because a win's a win once again, like you say. But if we don't have change, it's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over every year.
I was going to say that's the definition of insanity right there. This is the thing they said, that they put a value on each and every player on this team at the trade deadline. And if someone met that value, they would have traded him. If they don't meet the value, they wouldn't trade him. The only person that got met was Jalen Phillips. They were asked, how do you feel about trading Jalen Waddle to the Bills? They said, something smart. I'd prefer not to, because he can come back and hurt us twice a year, maybe 3 times a year if we're not right. So maybe this team's starting to get their affairs in order. 305-567-0560, 104.3 FM, WQAM. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Greg from Sunrise.
Greg, happy to have you. What's on your mind?
Hey, Dan, I love your style. I love your show. I've been trying to get out to your trivia nights, and I watched the game this morning at Tucker Duke's in Deerfield. It was a great time. Bottomless mimosas, just like that other caller. I don't know if I had 32, but I definitely had my fair share. And I just want to say, like, the only thing I have against the way Mike McDaniel called this game was the timeouts at the end of the game. I don't have a problem with the 4th and 1s at the goal line. Like, they didn't work out, obviously, but if he would have kicked the field goals, everyone would have been calling him a cat and saying he doesn't play to win. And that game showed me he does try to play to win, and the locker room still plays for him.
Yeah.
And honestly, as fans, we're just bystanders. We don't get to pick the new GM. We don't get to pick the new coach. So, take the wins. Tanking doesn't work.
No.
Look at the Jets. Look at the Browns.
We did it.
Tanking doesn't work. Let's figure it out.
Yeah, it's all about the winning attitude. I like that. I also like the mimosa intake for most of these fans that have been listening and calling. I appreciate that very much. Got to take the wins. Mike McDaniel, the play calling is somewhat questionable. Mike McDaniel could have rationalized it if he would have kicked the field goal with 1:40 left, and if the Commanders came back and won, they would have asked him about it. Very easy answer. I felt as though a field goal at that point was enough because I trusted my defense, and unfortunately, we just didn't have enough. And I think everyone would have accepted that answer. But then again, there's the people that won't accept any answer because they would have said, "Oh, you're scared." No. Same people not playing the result. Grieper and I both, full disclosure, when he went to go line up for 4th down, we both said, Grieper, he should kick the field goal.
Yeah, that was easy. I mean, the odds, the chart, everything tells you go for the field goal.
Yeah.
And he didn't. Now, it obviously worked out in the long run because Washington screwed the pooch, as they like to say.
Mm-hmm.
And Jack Jones came through, luckily. But you shouldn't be put in that situation. And that's where the problem comes in, is that, as we said earlier, the play calling, I don't know what's going on there.
Right. And remember, like you said last week, he's like, well, with the deep bombs on 3rd down, it's like a long punt. Well, this week he did it on first down. That you and I were scratching our heads saying, whoa, that's not like a punt. It's like a turnover.
And it's just what is the one thing that everybody has always said about Tua? He's a great decision maker. He makes split-second decisions, and he's great at making those pinpoint accuracy.
Yeah.
So if you're great at making pinpoint accuracy throws, what are you doing throwing a bomb into double coverage where your receiver had no shot of getting that ball?
The only thing is that maybe it loosens up the defense. There's more rhyme to reason, I hope, to some of these play calls that we don't totally know because we're not in the huddle or we're not the coaches, but some of them are a little bewildering. 305-567-0560, 104.3 FM WQAM. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Elias. I'm calling from Miami.
Break it down, Elias. What's going on?
First off, about this defense, like you said, that's loosening the defense. What we've been dealing with for the past, last year, you don't go deep, don't throw deep no more. You don't throw deep no more. So defense is stacking the box. You have to take the shot every now and then. And I don't have no problem as long as the down and distance is on the other side of the field. It's not going to hurt you because it's like a punt. Why are people making a big deal about that when it's not in a situation in the area that it will hurt you? And secondly, when you don't put Achane in on 4th and on 4th and 1 on the goal line because Washington had their big packages. He's a small back. You need a bigger back. That should have been something a different play. I do agree with that, but Belichick didn't make every right play.
Right.
If you think Patrick Mahomes won every game and every game looked pretty, you ain't watching football. Some games are won in the trenches like this. Some games look ugly like this. And next week we can go and put up 40, 50 points. That don't have no bearing on this game because some games are just won like this. They ugly. No team in the NFL go through the whole season without these games right here. That's not possible. People, it's like you watching football in a bubble. You only watching this team, and you ain't realizing that the Kansas City Chiefs go through the same thing. You don't realize that, you know what I'm saying, the Patriots go through the same thing. They won ugly games. So why we get penalized for winning ugly games now? And I can't stand these soft behind fans that still crying about us tanking. What kind of fan is that? Why we do that? Why we go into a week with a losing mentality that we want to lose?
I understand.
Come
No,
on, man. This is your city. This is your town. You got to have some respect for your doggone team. If you're a fan of the team and this is the game that you love, have some respect for the game.
I definitely respect the game. I respect those guys that work so hard every week. To be rewarded with a win is absolutely great. There's a lot of different things you can say about Mike McDaniel with that call. Yes, Ollie Gordon is the big back. They got the big package. But at the same time, your best player, do you go to him? I don't know. It didn't work out either way. But a lot of people say it's crying over spilled milk because we ended up winning the game. What does it matter? You got to worry about the calls. And I don't know if people, Grieper, have so much of a problem with us going deep, because you do have to go deep. You have to soften up the defense. You can't just stack the box. I think our biggest worry and our problem is, does Tua still have the arm to even make it worthwhile to go deep? That's what scares me.
That is a scary situation if your quarterback cannot throw a deep ball whatsoever. The other thing that I'm wondering is, and I don't know about the psyche of Tua right now. We've already told him you have to protect yourself. You can't run. You can't do this. You can't do that. I'm kind of wondering if maybe Tua is sitting back there the whole time, second guessing himself over and over and over again, that he can't use his quarterback instincts to do what he normally would do based upon the fact that they've coached him to play protective football. And I don't know what they've told him regarding deep balls, but the consideration that I'm thinking is that I remember when Dan Marino was here, he could audible out of whatever he wanted to do. He could do whatever he wanted to do. I'm wondering if Tua even has that freedom to say, hey, I'm looking at the defense right now and I can't see us converting on the play that was called. I want to opt out of it and audible into something else.
That is true. You see a lot of the other quarterbacks, hitting their helmet, calling all this other. You don't see Tua do that a lot. Now, he may be audibling still, just in different ways, but
true.
I don't see him visibly audibling that much.
And that's the thing that I'm wondering is that, and we will never know the answer to this question, is how much of this is Tua's play calling and how much of this is McDaniel's play calling?
Lots of questions to be answered, but I do know this. We got a win today. Jack Jones coming through with the big interception on the first play of overtime, setting up the Dolphins for a chip shot from our favorite kicker now, because he's our only kicker, Riley Patterson. 305-567-056. You're going to come back and take some more of your calls, hear your voice, plus going to get you a quick scoreboard because we got a lot of action in the NFL going on. Robert Grieper, Dan Day. This is Game Day Uncensored Postgame, 104.3 FM, WQAM.
Every
South Florida teams. We've got them. Catch us on FM 1043 or listen.
Now, let's get back to the Game Day Uncensored postgame show on FM 1043 WQAM, Miami's sports leader.
Wouldn't call it a shootout today. Whole lot of kicking it. Dolphins do win in overtime, though, 16-13, oddly enough, on a field goal where Real Madrid plays. The Barboo. They beat the Washington Commanders in overtime, once again, 16-13. Some other scores. This is a shootout. They've already almost scored more points in the first quarter than the Dolphins and the Commanders scored all game. We're talking about the Bills and the Bucks. The Bills just scored on a bomb. Surprise, surprise. Josh Allen's got an arm. It is now 14-10 with, oh no, they're in the second quarter. So 14-10 with 8:52 left. The Bills lead the Bucks 14-10 in Buffalo. That game, exciting. It's going to be back and forth battle. Some of the other scores around the league. The Giants lead the Packers 7-6. They just started the second quarter. I wouldn't be too worried if you're a Packers fan, aka Robert Grieper. The Titans are up on the Texans 3-0, though. That's the beginning of the second quarter. Falcons-Panthers, a game I hope both teams lose. Falcons are up on the Panthers 14-7. They're about midway through the second quarter. The Bears, who have been good of late, playing the Vikings, who always keep it close. The Vikings are up 3-0 at the beginning of the second quarter. Jacksonville Jaguars and the Los Angeles Chargers. Jags lead 7-6. And Bengals Steelers rivalry game. Steelers are up 7-6 beginning of the second quarter. And we have a couple of games this afternoon. 49ers Cardinals, 4:00. Also at 4:00, the game of the week that a lot of people are calling for. Seahawks and the Rams. Chiefs and Broncos, another game of the week, 4:25. Ravens and Browns, 4:25. Lions and Eagles tonight at 8:20. And Monday Night Football, Cowboys and Raiders tomorrow. 305-567-0560. Back to the phone lines, 1043 WQAM. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, what's up, man? This is Dylan, Fireman Finn calling again. Third week in a row I've got you guys, so just want to say I appreciate it. And let's go Finns. We finally got something going here.
Yeah.
You know, one thing that I'm very critical on, and I have been the past couple of weeks, is our offensive line. And today they were moving boys. I mean, they were actually making holes for Achane and for Ollie Gordon to run through. They were actually protecting Tua. I also want to throw something out there. Waddle dropped two solid passes that he doesn't normally drop.
Right.
You know, there was two passes that had me head scratching because that's not Waddle. You know, Waddle doesn't do that. You know, and but, you know, somebody said today, you know, he's Tannehill 2.0. That Tua is Tannehill 2.0. And I'll go back to my same thing I said last time. If we don't have a line around him, you know, he is going to be Tannehill 2.0. You know, he might not have the strongest arm, but I personally think he can get it done. Does he make bad decisions sometimes? Yeah. But, you know, at the end of the day, we won. You know, that's all that we can ask for, you know, is a win.
I agree with that, absolutely. And you got to let's give credit where credit's due to that offensive line. I told you at the beginning of the season, everyone was all on Jonas Savianaya, saying he's a bust, and that, you know, we wasted a second round pick on him, and that he's graded out as one of the worst offensive linemen, our worst players in the league ever. And I said, you got to give him a minute. He is playing his first games in the NFL against the best of the best. Every guy that has their tricks are going to pull their tricks on him, and he's going to have to figure it out. You got to be patient. Now, notice we're not saying Jonas Savianaya's name that much anymore.
Right. He's actually been holding it down on the left side and the right side too, man. The right, the line is actually coming together.
Hey, look, Devon Achane had 120 yards today rushing.
Exactly. And can we add in a couple more pieces there? Sure, why not? Maybe a bigger guard, maybe a bigger tackle, but as long as it's cohesive, we can actually move the ball.
And we might be getting Austin Jackson back next week, by the way, who we haven't had.
Which would be amazing.
So,
and as long as he's cohesive with the rest of the line and can move like the rest of the line can, let's get it going.
We might have a recipe for success. Look, it worked against Atlanta. It worked against the Bills. It worked today against the Washington Commanders. And like we had a couple callers ago saying, sometimes you have to just win ugly games. There's going to be days where you have to win ugly. Every team does it. It's true. Every coach will tell you, we just got to do what it takes to win. Some days it'll look like airing it out all over the place. Some days it'll look like tons of field goals. But when you get the win, you got to feel good. And I'm feeling good right now. 305-567-0560, 104.3 FM, WQAM. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Dan. Bob from New Jersey, season ticket holder. How you doing, man?
Bob. I'm feeling great, man. How are you?
I'm feeling great. Just rattle off a couple of things. A couple of callers ago talking about Tua not being able to change the plays. How about we break the huddle with 10 seconds or 12 seconds left in the time? We're always breaking the huddle late, setting up. We're going to have some motion. You don't have time to change the play. So that drives me crazy. All right, that's one. Second off, I mean, it was an ugly game. The game had warts, but it's a win. Dolphin fans, 10 minutes after the game is over, you're already ranting about what's going on and what we're doing wrong. Let at least the wind breathe a bit, Let's take it in.
I hear you.
And then to the field goal. I got a different take. I was thinking the same thing originally, but you go back. I forget how many plays it was beforehand. Achane, I think, took a handoff, down near the goal line and went out of bounds, stopping the clock.
That's true. We did notice that.
If he had stayed in bounds and we can run off some more time, then I'm saying maybe kick the field goal. Because today with the new kickoff rule, you're 1 or 2 first downs away from field goal range to begin with. And with 140 on the clock that they had,
right,
you got to think that they're in there and maybe they bust a big play.
They still almost busted down the field for a field goal with 140 left. So I guess you're figuring that we came to Madrid to win. We're going to try to win this game, and then if not, we're going to put them on the 1 yard line and make them drive the whole field.
Exactly. Put them on the 1 yard with no timeouts, without that big play. I mean, we forced a 57-yarder that, I don't know about their kicker, but these days everybody's making them. But hey, we made him, force a 57-yarder that he missed. So like I said, that's what I think about field goal, not field goal. And then looking at the season as a total, and what are we doing next year? This, that, and the other thing. Look, we're stuck with Tua for another year. We're not pulling a Russell Wilson Denver deal, and eating $60 million in cap or anything like that. So, my thought is bring the GM. We got some talent, like you just said, man. We're playing all these rookies, Savino, with these guys who would, if we had a halfway decent team, they'd be part-time players learning as they go. We threw them right into the fire. If we got to keep Tua for another year, you might as well keep McDaniel. Let him do that lame ducky here and see what you got. Maybe we can draft something or sign some free agents and get some talent, because we got talent on the team. It's just not being whether utilized right, or there's a lot of learning going on. So I think keep Tua, get a general manager, get some draftees, because what are you going to do? Get Tua a new offense again to start learning next year if you fire McDaniel. I mean, he has shown his flashes. So Dolphin fans, relax. We had a good win. We're making some strides. Like you said, the next 2 games, who knows? I mean, they're going to disappoint us at the end. We'll just miss the playoffs more than likely by 1 game and 2 games, and we'll lament back to the Cleveland games and those type of things.
I know, but Bob, a win's a win is a win is a win, and I'm in the camp of agreeing with you. I think next year, and you hate to tell fans, got to be patient, but next year might be one of those years where they give the new GM a soft landing and say, look, we're kind of hand-tied with Tua in his contract, kind of hand-tied with the extension we gave Mike McDaniel. Get your affairs in order. Get your house in order. We're going to play out this 1 year. No pressure, because I know those aren't your guys. No pressure. Let Tua do what he does. Let Mike McDaniel do what he does, and then we'll reassess at the end of next year. But you're also telling Dolphins fans, here's a year that may or may not be lost, and Dolphins fans don't want to hear that. This year not lost yet, though. A lot of fans think it is. No, 2-game win streak. We've won 3 of the last 4 games, and we got some winnable games ahead of us. And every game in the NFL is losable or winnable. I know that, but not the best teams we're facing. We shall see. How do you feel? 305-567-0560. Going to come back, hear from you right here on Gameday Uncensored Postgame, 104.3 FM, WQAM.
Hey, we
And now we begin. It's Game Day Uncensored, Postgame edition. Real talk, real reaction, real opinions for real Miami football fans on FM 104.3 WQAM, Miami sports leader.
I know he doesn't have as much tenure as some of the other guys at his position. I know he doesn't have the same flashy name or the same profile as some of the other guys in the league at his position. But if you look at it now, Devon Achane is making a case to be on the all-pro team at the end of this season at the running back position. He is propping up this offense, and it seems like defenses know it's coming, but they can't stop him. 120 yards on the ground today. That gets his grand total this season up to 900. Going into this week, he was fourth in rushing in the NFL. Jonathan Taylor leads the league. James Cook second. Rico Dowdle third. And then Devon Achane. Like I said, today, Devon Achane, 120 yards, puts him at 900 rushing yards for the season. That would be good enough at this moment to put him at third in the NFL. Of course, there's still plenty of games to be played and yards to be gotten. But Devon Achane making a strong case. And I don't think I'm sounding crazy when I say to be on one of the all-pro teams, definitely a Pro Bowler, but one of the all-pro teams.
Oh, easily. And think about it this way. On a predictable offense, he is doing this.
Yes. Very predictable offense. I mean, it's Devon Achane after Devon Achane after Devon Achane. Just hope he can stay healthy because he got a little bumps and bruises today. Had to go out of the game at one point, but they seem like it was just kind of getting the wind knocked out of him.
Well, luckily he's got some time to rest a little bit now.
Yeah, it's nice. Dolphins have an open date next week, and then they'll get back into action against the New Orleans Saints right here in South Florida. Who dat say they're going to beat them Dolphins? Well, for the past 3 out of 4 weeks.
That's going to be a scintillating game. I could just see it right now.
Yeah, the Saints they're rough, man, but they do compete. And then this Dolphins team, this is the thing too. They have not quit. They have not quit for Mike McDaniel either. You saw how excited they were after the game against the Bills. You saw they played hard today. They play hard. Some of the things make you wonder, but I hear you. 305-567-0560. Back to the phone lines at 104.3 FM WQAM. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Go ahead. Go ahead. It's a party. Too many mimosas. Grieper. Mimosas, Bloody Marys, whole 9 yards.
You know, the worst thing is he could be combining the Bloody Marys and the mimosas, and that's where you start to have a problem.
Yeah. Drinking at 9:30 a.m. is a tough one, but now I've never been to bottomless brunch, so I can't speak from experience, and I think that's probably a good thing for me because I probably get carried away. But I've been trying to go to bottomless brunch. Just I've been busy. I've been working, so.
Or it could be even worse. You could be having a red eye?
Oh yeah. Oh. 305-567-0560 is the number to call. Our Dolphins do get a win. Some people say it's in spite of Mike McDaniel. Some people are saying Mike McDaniel's scheming this team up. I've said this for a while. Mike McDaniel realizes what he has and what his best path to victory is. And it seems like controlling the ball, giving the ball to Devon Achane, giving the ball to Devon Achane, giving the ball to Devon Achane. Hopefully Jalen Waddle not dropping a pass here and there. He went deep once today. That should have been an interception, but it was not. And then telling the defense just to hold on, bend, but don't break. And I understand the thinking towards the end of the game where you don't kick the field goal. You're there to win it, and then you give the ball back to Marcus Mariota and a not very good Commanders offense to go the length of the field to try to get a field goal. Worked out for him. Jack Jones, 305-567-0560, 104.3 FM WQAM. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is G from Oakland Park in Fort Lauderdale. How's it going, guys?
Hey, man, doing pretty good, G. What's up with you?
Nothing. This is just another good Sunday with the W from the Dolphins. But, I mean, unfortunately, it's frustrating how they go about getting them, man. Like, get Achane involved in the run. Why are they doing those cute little out routes to the tight end? You know what I mean? Like, why? If they got a system that works, why don't they just stick with it? When they got that going, the offense gets going, we win games. Simple as that. Next week we got the Jets or the Saints, and then we got the Jets. We're going to be 6-7 going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers coming up pretty soon. So
is it going to happen?
We got our business to handle.
Gee, is it going to happen? We're going to get all of this winning streak going. We're going to go into Monday night. We're going to say this is a statement game. The Dolphins are about to change things, and then we're going to lay an egg.
Mark my words, man. We're gonna go 7-7. We're gonna be in playoff contention. I'm not just speaking as a homer. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen.
You know who we play the last game of the year?
I haven't looked at the schedule like that yet, but I've just been focusing on this next couple games coming up. But
The last game of the year, it could be a blessing or a curse. The last game of the year is at the New England Patriots.
Well, then we'd lose it in classic Dolphin style, man. But either way, I'm with it till the end. We'll see.
Gee, it's interesting. Of course, the Dolphins on the 2-game win streak. They won 3 of the last 4. They get an open date because of the international. They decided to take the open date wisely after the international travel. You get the Saints, who absolute basura. It hurts my heart to say that the Saints are bad.
Basura.
Basura. And then you get the Jets. The Jets can't even barely complete a forward pass. Then you get the Steelers on Monday night. They haven't looked great lately, but then it gets rough towards the end of the season. Bengals with Joe Burrow most likely back. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are giving the Bills all they can handle right now in Buffalo. Then you end the season on the Patriots, at the Patriots, but there could be a blessing in disguise because the Patriots may have already locked up the division at that point, so they might not play anybody.
Yeah, well, here's the hoping, man. Either way, the Dolphins got to handle their business in the next couple weeks. I mean, it's in Dolphin style. They may just lay an egg against the Jets. Who knows, man? We got to take care of what we can take care of right now.
Any given Sunday. Yeah, that is true. But hey, look, we got to win today. We got an open date next week. We can relish this one a little bit, man. We can relax and lay low with it for a little bit because you got a week off next week and you can say it's all good. But yeah, we'll see, man.
I'm chalking. Yeah, I'm chalking up this offensive slump to the travel. Hopefully they can just sharpen up this next couple weeks and get the job done against the Jets and the Saints, man.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping for, and we're going to be there every step of the way. I felt as though both offenses moved the ball very easily. They just had problems getting into pay dirt. That was the only problem. I thought both defenses were not that great, but they were bending, not breaking. I think, to be honest, I think both these teams kind of have the same game plan. Control the ball, hold the ball, time of possession, keep your defense off the field. When your defense gets on the field, bend but don't break. Have them kick field goals, not touchdowns. Get a stop at a critical point in the game and hope for the best. I think both teams had that mentality, and that's why you saw a whole lot of field goals, and you saw a 16-13 final score in overtime. And you get a big play here and there. Jack Jones, who is going to blink? You had 2 guys from Honolulu, Hawaii, Marcus Mariota and Tua Tagovailoa. Who is going to blink? Who is going to make the first mistake? Lo and behold, Marcus Mariota made that first mistake, the first play of overtime. 305-567-0560 is the number to call if you want to get in on the show. Once again, you have to feel good. You went to Madrid. You got to win. A win is a win is a win in the NFL. Now you have an open date. Just relax and enjoy it and just kind of see where this season goes. One game at a time, and you don't even have to worry about another game for at least 2 weeks. And it's the Saints, who I'm telling you are not that good. Dolphins team, if you're a hopeful Dolphins fan, you're saying they figured something out. And the only reason they lost to the Ravens is because it was a short week and they couldn't implement everything they wanted to. That is what I've heard from them. Have you beaten anybody good? Yeah, you beat the Bills. The Bills are losing right now, by the way, to the Tampa Bay Bucks. The Bucks look like they're fired up today. Maybe the Bills are sleepwalking through the season. Maybe the Bills aren't that good. We shall see. Or maybe they're playing possum like they usually do, and you say, what's wrong with them? And lo and behold, they'll win the rest of the games. I don't know. I do know we got a big win against the Commanders today. Marcus Mariota did look good. Achane looked like the best player on the field. We got the big win. Devon Achane making his case to be an all-pro this year. Definitely going to make the Pro Bowl. Got to keep him healthy, though. Our defense,
and get paid.
And he will get paid. Look, if we don't pay him, and we should, if we don't pay him, someone else will handsomely pay Devon Achane.
Teddy KGB will.
Teddy KGB?
I don't blame him. Pay that man his money.
I mean, you can't deny what Devon Achane does. I say it's almost comical at points where that's the only name they're saying when we have the ball. It's just Devon Achane, Devon Achane, Devon Achane, Devon Achane. And like I said, teams have to know we're going to him, and he's still getting his. Not just rushing, he's also a dynamic receiver. Now, we're going to get him killed throwing some of these screen passes, but hey, we got our game plan, and we're executing. You know, if you're saying we're not executing very well, the main thing is that you win. And if you have to muck it up every game to win and give your fans a heart attack, hey, look, once again, ugly wins are 100% times better than pretty losses. No one ever walked away saying, I'm happy with this loss. It could have been a win. I don't want the win. We'll take the loss because it looks good. Tua Tagovailoa. Question marks, man. Question marks. And, I keep saying it because, he sat in on that preseason and he said the market is the market. And I keep saying Tua, the market is the market, but the standard is also the standard. You need to play like a $50 million quarterback. Today, there was some good. There was some bad. Him going deep worries me just a little bit. But for right now, 4-7 on the season. 4-7 on the season. Still taking your calls, 305-567-0560. Going to come back, break down the stats from the game. 16-13 is the stat you really need to know. The Dolphins win in overtime. This is Game Day Uncensored, postgame on 104.3 FM, WQAM.
Now, let's get back to the Game Day Uncensored postgame show on FM 104.3 WQAM, Miami's sports leader.
It's that special time of the year. Now, I'm not talking about football. I'm talking about it's getting near the Hanukkah Christmas time. And one of my all-time favorite movies is Bad Santa. I'm thinking of a line from Bad Santa, and I know this is Game Day Uncensored, but, I'm going to keep it clean enough, where Billy Bob Thornton says, hope in one hand and beep in the other, and see which one fills up faster. Right now, as a Dolphins fan, we got a whole lot of hope. We also got a whole lot of other stuff, too. We don't know which one's going to fill up faster. But if you're one of those people that is on the optimistic side, you beat Atlanta, who at the time was flying pretty high. You lost to the Baltimore Ravens, who seemed to be on the ascend on a short week. You beat the Bills really bad, and you won again today in Madrid against the Washington Commanders. I'm not saying they're ascending. They're definitely descending. But you've won 3 out of 4. You get an open date. Maybe you get some guys like Austin Jackson back. The offensive line seems to be figuring things out. Devon Achane running the ball like there's no tomorrow. You get the Saints coming to town. You go to the Jets. A little bit of hope. Just a little bit of hope for you. Mike McDaniel, maybe they figured some things out. Maybe they haven't. Once again, this is the NFL. This is a league where the best team can look like they're never going to get beat again, and then the next week go out there and get beat by a sad team. We can always hope. 305-567-0560. Want to get in some of the stats coming from this game. We'll start, of course, with Devon Achane in the running game. Devon Achane is absolutely electric. It seems like they know the fastball's coming, but they can't seem to catch up with it, and I'm wondering why more teams don't stack up against it. Maybe that's kudos to Mike McDaniel. He disguises the plays well enough, or maybe it's kudos to Devon Achane for finding a way. 21 carries, 120 yards, almost 6 yards and carry. Ollie Gordon II continues like most of these rookies. Like we said in the early season, there's going to be some growing pains. There's a big jump from college to the pros, and everyone's got their tricks that they're going to throw on you. You got to learn on the job, and sometimes that's hard as a fan to watch, but Ollie Gordon II starting to come around. He's been fired up very much lately. 9 carries, 45 yards, and our lone touchdown, Jalen Wright, got 1 carry for 4 yards. Tua Tagovailoa, at some points, looked pretty darn good in the game. He also had Jalen Waddle dropping a couple of his passes. The only thing that really unsettled me was his punt passes that he does. He did one today on first down, mind you. That was kind of an odd call. He thought maybe third down. Should have been intercepted. My main worry with that, not so much that we called it on first down, not so much that it should have been intercepted, but what it's looked like the past couple of times he's thrown it down the field. Not a lot of zip, not a lot of really anything other than just throwing it up for grabs. Nonetheless, 14 for 20, 171 yards, no touchdowns, but more importantly, no interceptions. A man that leads the league with interceptions today had a clean sheet when it comes to interceptions, and lo and behold, an interception did in the Commanders. Now, Jalen Waddle did lead all receivers with 52 yards on 3 catches, 2 drops that really kind of hurt us. Devon Achane, 5 receptions for 45 yards. Never say that he's not a well-rounded back. Malik Washington got in the mix, 3 receptions for 42 yards. Greg Dulcich, 2 receptions, 18 yards. They started to look for him a little bit more. And Julian Hill had 1 reception for 14 yards where he looked pretty darn strong in there. Jordan Brooks continues to lead the league in tackles and also make a case to possibly go into the Pro Bowl. He has been the heart and soul, not just of this defense, but kind of this team. And from what we heard last week, as we talked to my cousin, Vladimir Louison, I said, who are some of the leaders in the locker room? He said, Jordan Brooks, definitely that. Jordan Brooks took the Papa shot out of the Dolphins locker room this week because he says it just got to be, no, he said no comment, but I'm guessing he thought it just was a little too silly and causing too much of an issue with focus or whatnot. But Jordan Brooks leading this team. Minka Fitzpatrick continued his swell play this year. 6 tackles, 1 assist on that. Tyrell Dotson, he's been a baller all season long. 8 assists and 3 tackles. Zeke Biggers been getting in the game. See, 7th round picks can make a difference, as Zeke Biggers was in the game for some big plays, 4 assists on 3 tackles. Ashton Davis saved the game, by the way. Big time tackle, shoestring tackle, when it looked like Chris Rodriguez was going to march into the end zone. He was the last man to stop, and he got him. So, man, Ashton Davis, in the grand scheme of things, that would have cost us the game. 305-567-0560, back to the phone lines, 104.3 FM WQAM. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, my name is Marco Paez. I'm calling from Madrid.
Oh,
how is the game?
How are things in Madrid? First of all, give us a little breakdown. What's the atmosphere like out there right now after the Dolphins win?
It was absolutely amazing. I mean, we definitely took over the stadium. Don't get me wrong. The Washington Commanders had a strong presence, but no doubt we took over the stadium.
Excellent. So,
and it was amazing.
So what's on your mind, Marco?
No, I mean, I was watching the show right now, came back home to the hotel and, wanted to continue with the fever. I mean, it was an amazing win. First time taking my kids to the game, and we did it in Madrid. And, just wanted to share that joy with all your fans.
How was the stadium? Everyone said it is state-of-the-art and absolutely beautiful.
State of the art. The closest thing I would compare to is SoFi Stadium. I mean, by far, it's like world class. There was a couple of hiccups in the beginning. It took a while to get in. I don't know what they were thinking in terms of like security. It was a little bit over the top, but nevertheless, once we got in, I mean, beautiful state of the art. I mean, they did their best. This is their first time. I think if they bring it back next year, it's probably going to be better.
And Marco, what were you thinking when Mike McDaniel went for it on 4th down with about 1:40 left and we didn't get into the end zone?
No, we were all in shock. I mean, the whole crowd, we thought it was over. I mean, we were all in shock. It was a kind of a ridiculous call. I understand like the heat of the moment, but come on. I mean, just go, the way we were struggling in terms of getting the ball in the end zone, I think just go for the safe call right there and field goal. And that's that. And we definitely got lucky towards the end. They missed that field goal, but, I mean, it was a very, very intense game. It
was intense just watching it here, much less in the crowd. And then, of course, how did you and your kids and your whole family and really Dolphins Nation react when Jack Jones came up with that big interception?
Oh, that was huge. I mean, the crowd erupted. It was absolutely like electric. He rescued us. He was those world-class interception right there to do it, at that moment. And then it brought life back to the stadium. It was rocking. It was absolutely rocking. 78,000 fans,
78,000. That's what I like to hear. So are you staying in Europe for a little while or are you heading back?
Yeah. I mean, we made it a family trip. So, doing Madrid a couple days or so and then kind of go around Spain, first time here. So yeah, representing the 305.
Hell yeah. You going to take the kids to Ibiza?
Maybe in my younger days, in Miami style. Yeah, maybe in my younger days, no, but we will go to Barcelona though. That's for sure. That's as crazy as it will get.
Marco, thank you so much, man. You're a great father, obviously. You're a great man, and you're a great Dolphins fan for sure.
Thank you so much, guys. Keep doing what you do. All right,
Marco, appreciate it. That's Madrid Marco calling in, watching from the hotel. Gonna run around to Barcelona, man. Dolphins fans are now having a lot of fun. I know a lot of Dolphins fans went in this week. A lot of Dolphins fans might be sticking around for a while. They can really enjoy it now because they got a win and they've got an open date next week. So you can just relax, enjoy, and have a whole lot of fun. Want to get back to the stats that we have going on with this Miami Dolphins game. Marcus Mariota looked like, I hate to say the Marcus Mariota of old. Was Marcus Mariota of old that good? Because I mean, remember Ryan Tannehill beat him out in Tennessee. Grieber, was Marcus Mariota of old good?
I don't remember him being that great with the Titans or with the Falcons.
Whoa, no. Falcons, no.
Or the Raiders.
No. So
he's been around a little bit.
So Marcus Mariota looked good today. Now, he didn't try to do anything extravagant until that last play of the game, until the first play of overtime. But nonetheless, he played it safe for the most part. And now we see why, because if he doesn't play it safe, it goes to Jack Jones and the game's over. Nonetheless, Marcus Mariota, 20 for 30, 212 yards, 1 touchdown, but 1 interception. And oh yeah, he killed us with his legs. That one big run over there in the fourth quarter, 43 yards with 10 minutes left. I thought, he only finished with 49 yards on the day, 4 carries. Chris Rodriguez looked really good and effective too. 15 carries for 79 yards. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, 9 carries, 28 yards. Deebo Samuel even threw in a carry for 3 yards. Deebo also doing it from the receiving end, 7 receptions, 74 yards. He got their one lone touchdown. And I thought Zach Ertz looked like Zach Ertz of today. He looked a little old, a little tired, slipped in the end zone. Hey, looked like he had the angle. But that's what bad teams do. They find ways not to score touchdowns. Zach Ertz, 4 receptions, 41 yards. Don't worry, Zach. Julie will be waiting for you when you get home, or maybe the hotel room. She's probably made the trip with you. Overall, all in all, though, pretty good day for the Miami Dolphins. It was a drag-it-out type of game. I'm happy. Devon Achane, we've got our recipe. It's Devon Achane. Maybe throw it to Jalen Waddle a little bit. Maybe throw it to a tight end. Devon Achane. Defense, bend but don't break. Make them kick field goals, not touchdowns, and just find a way to win. And that's exactly what they did today. Total yards, Dolphins 311. Amber is the color of their energy, and they're down with it. Any other 311 references you want to give, Grouper?
Talk about coming unusual.
They didn't stay home this time.
No.
They went to Madrid. Nonetheless, Peanut. There you go.
Oh, love Peanut.
I'm not going to say one of the other guys' names because I'm scared.
No, you don't want to go there.
So 311 yards total for the Miami Dolphins. 379 yards total for the Washington Commanders. I thought both defenses were in that bend but don't break mode. They kind of got run up and down the field, but when it got down to the goal line, like I said, Dolphins 13 for 13 on the season in the red zone, score touchdowns, not field goals, touchdowns. They go 0 for 2 today. Almost cost them, but it didn't. Passing yards, Washington better in that aspect. 207 to our 142. Rushing yards. You'd think, oh, well, Devon Achane ran all over him. We won the rushing category. Almost. That's right. We had 169 yards. 169 yards to Washington's 172. And yards per play, Washington won that one also. 5.8 for the Dolphins, 5.9 for the Commanders. So really, if you look at the numbers, they're pretty even with a slight edge to Washington. What could have been the one thing that derailed Washington in this game? Turnovers? And one of them didn't hurt them. The muff punt did not hurt them because we failed to get into the end zone with 1:41 left. But then Marcus Mariota, you win as a team, you lose as a team, but you can point to one certain thing in this game that cost the Washington Commanders the game, who overall played slightly better than the Miami Dolphins. It's that one interception. And I give Jack Jones credit. It was a good interception, but Marcus Mariota, that is why you're a backup. That is a rough place to throw an interception, and that is the rough decision to make, trying to get it to old Zach Ertz there. In games like this, little things count, but you can point to one or two specific things. The muff punch should have cost them the game. Mike McDaniel maybe should have kicked the field goal with 1:41 left. Man, shoulda, woulda, couldas. Hero today ends up being not Riley Patterson, because Riley Patterson did make all his field goals, and Matt Gay, the kicker for the Commanders, missed 2 field goals. Once again, we went into overtime. Dolphins get in on one of those plays on 4th down and goal. The game's already over. Matt Gay makes one of those 2 field goals that he missed. The game's over. I'm sorry. I'm trying to see who he's tackling. Chris Rodriguez getting past the defense. Looked like he could walk into the end zone. One guy to beat. Ashton Davis caught the guy's shoestrings, literally. Stopped him from scoring. They do not get a touchdown. Cost you the game. Little things and dragouts like this make a big difference in the grand scheme of things. Dolphins fans feeling good. Now you can run around Madrid and go crazy. You feel as though it would be a heavy Dolphins crowd because of the connections with Spain and the culture that we have here. Looked like it was a whole lot of fun.
Well, it was a home game out there, if you noticed, because Kenny Walker was doing the PA announcing out there, and it was a home game for the Dolphins.
It was a home game for the Dolphins. We did, quote unquote, give up a home game at Hard Rock Stadium for that game. Kenny Walker, our dude from our sister station 102.7 The Beach, he did that's another Dolphins
first down.
Yeah. And of course, Joe Rose was out there representing. It's going to be interesting to hear from
You also
Joe
had
Rose.
Marino and Zach out there as the captains.
Oh, got some good stuff going on out there. Yeah, and from what we're hearing is the NFL wants to make the Dolphins kind of the team of whether it be South America or Spain. They're kind of trying to relegate to different teams. I know Jacksonville's kind of the London team. Then with the obvious connection with the Spanish language, they want to make the Dolphins more to Latin America and Spain. Eventually, I expect, in all honesty, that the NFL, as long as it makes money, it makes sense. The NFL is going to continue to expand globally. I also expect, Grieper, and tell me if I'm crazy, that outside of week 1 and the final week of the season, they're going to try to have an international game just to get more reach. I expect a regular season game to be in Tokyo, eventually Australia, some of the Scandinavian countries, Italy, maybe even one day.
Oh, I could see them going everywhere around this planet, and the global reach as one of the good things that's going out there, if you look at it coming up with the Olympics now, with flag football being part of the Olympics, football is just becoming huge, and they are going to try whatever they can to make it even more global. So until something fails overseas, they're going to be shoving it down everybody's throats at every single country overseas until they see something fail, and then they'll say, okay, we'll step back a little bit. But guess what? It ain't happening right now.
It's not happening. It's got a lot of room to expand, and it is expanding fast. And it's a really cool thing what they're doing, because I've talked to some of the people, some Dolphins fans over there in Madrid. They're partnering with different things. Like the Dolphins partnered with Atletico Madrid, which is one of the soccer teams in Madrid, while the Commanders partnered with Real Madrid. And also the Dolphins partnered with a local Spanish American football team, not a soccer team, but a football team. So they have their leagues over there too, which definitely a lot smaller than the NFL. But they partnered with people like that. And I just think for the NFL, it's just too much easy money. And we know one thing the NFL likes. It's not player safety. It's not fan experience. It's money. And just think about it.
Oh, easily. And remember the whole onus that they were having over there was they wanted to put a team over there, and they were going to end up having a division out there is what they were ideally wanted to do. Remember back when they had the World League and NFL Europe,
right?
They were trying to do that. And now they found the best way of doing it without doing that, which is having different teams over there every single week and in different situations. And guess what that does? It hasn't diluted the brand whatsoever. And what it's done is it has brought in a whole lot of money, because I would assume, and I haven't seen the data on this, the merch sales have to be through the roof over there.
Absolutely. And the proof is in the pudding. We talked to Marco, who was at the stadium. He said 78,000 strong. They sell out every international game, every time. And the merch is probably crazy. Whether you're a football fan or American football fan or not, maybe you want to take you and your family to a Dolphins Commanders game, and you say, hey, kids, let's get some gear. You buy gear, you get into that market. People start getting into the football. And another thing is this, and people forget this a lot of the times in this, they're like, we're just shoving our culture down people's throat. There's another side to it too. The NFL likes the idea of a quadruple header on Sunday. You get the 9:30, you get the 1 o'clock, you get the 4 o'clock, you get the night game. That is an extra stream of revenue, TV sales, everything else. It's a win-win-win-win-win for the NFL. And if you don't like it, I understand why you don't like it, but you can't stop progress. So get used to it.
And not only that, if you noticed years ago, how many networks were there airing NFL games compared to where it is now?
I mean, as of 5 years ago, name how many networks were airing.
Exactly. You've gotten the streaming games now. You got, so many games that are out there. You got games on Peacock, so it's amazing when you see the data streams that they actually have out there to make money all over the place. Not only are they getting merch sales over there, they're going to have the advertising revenue overseas. They're going to have everything out there because they got the all-inclusive packages that they're doing to get fans to go to these games. Oh, you got your hotel, you got your drinks involved, you got your meals involved, you got the tickets involved, you got your transportation involved. I mean, the amount of revenue streams that they have going right now, it's insane. And if you want to, go out there. We all know soccer is a moneymaker worldwide. NFL is right there at making the money out there any way they can right now.
And they are. But main thing is the Dolphins, they went out there and won it today. And if you're saying it was an ugly win or it really wasn't a win, it was more like the Commanders lost it. You saw the way the Dolphins acted at the end of the game when they made that field goal. They sure acted like it meant something to them. And you tell them that it wasn't a rightful win, that it was an ugly win, or that it was really a loss and we tried to give it away. This team hasn't stopped playing. And look, whether you want us to tank, whether you want us to win out, whatever you want from this team, you do have to have pride in this team because they could have easily quit. They could have easily thought about themselves. They could have told Mike McDaniel, you know what, I'm playing for my next season. But they're still playing for each other, and they're still playing for Mike McDaniel. I don't think there's anybody in the world that doesn't respect that. So be proud of your Dolphins team. They won because they played, but they also won because they won today, and they did what it took. That's all that really matters right now. 305-567-0560. Going to come back and give you a quick scoreboard again in case you've been riding around town. I got to go do groceries after this, so I feel your pain if you're riding around town after the Dolphins game, celebrating, listening to us, or watching us on your phone. We're going to run through some scores, get you caught up with everything going on in the NFL and a very active Week 11. This is Game Day Uncensored Postgame, 104.3 FM, WQAM.
WQAM on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps. Check it out now.
Now, let's get back to the Game Day Uncensored postgame show on FM 104.3 WQAM, Miami's sports leader.
Oh, the Bills keep doing it to me. Right when I think they're gone, they come back. Tampa Bay gets up on them early. And now at halftime, the Bills are now 21-20 leaders of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Going to get to a quick scoreboard in just a minute. But it's interesting that we got a call from Marco. He and his family were at the Dolphins game earlier today, and they're going to be running around Spain. He said everything was beautiful. It was great. Security was a little over the top, but it was okay. Maybe they'll figure it out. No, that's how things are in Spain and in France and in all parts of Europe. Security is always very, very much heightened. So if you're going to be going to any of these international games, you're probably going to get a lot of security. That's how they do it in Europe. They protect against terrorism or any type of attack, especially with it being the United States coming in and protesters. And just a little heads up, if you're going to any of these FIFA World Cup games next year here in the United States, in Miami, I've already talked to the guys and girls from FIFA. It's going to be an experience. You can't get anywhere near the stadium. What you're going to do is you're going to drive to a designated lot some miles away from the stadium. You will then be security scanned, picked up, put on a bus. A bus will take you to a perimeter of the stadium where you will then get out, walk through the fan zone, go to a security zone where you're checked again. Make sure you have a ticket so you can't rush the gates. Then you'll go through another walk. Then you'll get to where they take your tickets and let you in. So you get a couple security checks. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, it's not going to be like the match here over at Hard Rock Stadium where you have them going through the AC ducts to get into the match.
FIFA told us straight up. They looked us dead in the eye and said, "We don't play." They said that. They straight up said that. And I said, "Oh, I believe you. I believe you very much. But we don't play here in Miami. We got the Dolphins, 2-game winning streak, 3 of the last 4. How's the rest of the NFL doing? Well, let's take a look right now. Let's get some scores going. Packers and Giants are tied 13-13. It's the beginning of the third quarter. Grieper, a little worried? Packers not looking too sharp, although they did score 13 points in the second quarter.
Yeah, try doing that in more than one quarter, Jordan Love. Let's go here.
You got Jameis Winston, though. Could be really good, could be really bad.
Well, that's because Jackson Dart's a little injured.
A little, yeah. Plays a little reckless. Jameis Winston, 8 for 11, 86 yards. So
skipping over Russell Wilson there.
No, Russell Wilson, man. That's sad. Titans are up on the Texans, 6-0. They're in the third quarter. Want to know how our favorite Tennessee Titan, Cam Ward, is doing? 12 for 20, 111 yards. Not too bad, especially for Cam Ward, what he has around him. Falcons and the Panthers are going to war in Atlanta, 21-16. Atlanta leads the game. So do you get the good Panthers or do you get the bad Panthers? Today, you're actually getting 2 good quarterbacks. The good version of Bryce Young, 15 for 19, 196 yards and 2 touchdowns. And the good Michael Penix Jr., 11 for 12, almost perfect, 163 yards. That's why you're probably seeing kind of an elevated score in that one. The Bears and the Vikings. Are the Bears for real, Robert Grieper? Starting to think more and more, yes, they are.
I don't know. I still see Caleb having those games where you're just like, what are we doing here? But there's a reason why he was the number 1 pick in the draft. And you got DJ Moore out there. He's got weapons. He has multiple tight ends he could use.
Bears are up on the Vikings 13-3. What did the Bears do recently in the past 2 years? They drafted the number 1 overall quarterback in the draft, made sure they got a really good quarterback, hopefully for the future. They got him some help with Rome Odunze. And then what did they do all offseason? Built their offensive line.
Oh, what a concept.
What a concept from being one of the worst teams in the league to now 6-3 and possibly 7-3 at the end of the day.
But remember, what did they also do? They brought in a new head coach.
So maybe a recipe for success there. Just saying. Start to wonder now. The Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. The Los Angeles Chargers, they're 7-3. Justin Herbert. Are you got what it takes? This is the year. Maybe, just maybe.
With a third running back, too.
Jim Harbaugh. Keenan Allen back in town. Well, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, we know one thing about Jacksonville. They like to get out to a fast start, an early lead, and then wilt away. They could be doing it again today with 5 minutes left in the third quarter. They're up 21-6 on the Los Angeles Chargers. This game has Justin Herbert comeback written all over it. Trevor Lawrence, go earn that $50 million. $50 million, Trevor. Trevor Lawrence, though, once again, not the fourth quarter yet. 9 for 14, 109 yards, 1 interception. Justin Herbert, 10 for 17, 81 yards. Whew. He also has 3 carries for 21 yards. So we will monitor the comeback charge from the Los Angeles Chargers. Bills, Buccaneers, I told you. Josh Allen made a play in this game that, once again, boggled my mind. He made one play that boggled my mind like the man's not a human being. Then another play that boggled my mind. Does he even know how to play the sport of football? He throws an absolute dime, 50 yards down the field, touchdown. Then on his own goal line, as 2 guys are pulling him down, he 2-hand shovel passes the ball into the defender for the Buccaneers' hands. And lo and behold, the defender just falls down into the end zone. Some of these quarterbacks, Jordan Love's very good at that also. Jordan Love, you have to throw the ball down the field, not up the field.
Unfortunately, he took the wrong lessons from Brett Favre from back in the day, because Brett Favre would make passes that you're like, what the hell are you thinking? But when you're a gunslinger, that's what you do. Marino would do the same thing. Those tight windows. But I hate to tell you, Jordan Love, you're not Brett Favre. You're not Aaron Rodgers from 10 years ago.
This stat line at halftime for Josh Allen is Josh Allen to a T. 9 for 18, so that means half of his passes have been very good. Half of them probably are in the tuba section of the band, if they have a band in Buffalo. 152 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's good, right? 2 interceptions. That's bad. And one of them a pick 6. That's Josh Allen in a nutshell.
Josh is going to Josh.
4 carries, 26 yards, 1 touchdown. Can't wait. Well, we're done with him.
Which is what I don't understand is, with the skills that he has, why are you even getting him into those situations? I don't get it.
He is kind of a one-man show over there in Buffalo. We saw that last week. Bengals, Steelers, Joe Burrow expected to be back for Thanksgiving just in time to play our Miami Dolphins. Nonetheless, the Steelers are up on the Bengals 10-9 early in the third quarter. Of course, we got to check on how the old men are doing. Aaron Rodgers and Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco, 12 for 21, 91 yards and a touchdown. Aaron Rodgers, 9 for 15, 116 yards, 1 touchdown. So they're not the explosive graybeards that you thought we might be getting. 49ers, Cardinals later today at 4:05. I expect the 49ers to absolutely steamroll the Cardinals. If you think the Dolphins are a clown show, Arizona's on line 1. Kyler Murray's hurt. No, he's not hurt. He's not going to start. Jacoby Brissett, he's on the injured reserve. Oh,
yeah. Tell Dolphins how Jacoby Brissett did down here.
Ooh.
Yeah.
A lot of people think this is going to be the game of the week. The Rams and the Seahawks, 4:00 today. A lot of people saying, man, watch out. The Rams might be the best team in the NFL. I honestly think the Seahawks will fight hard. And in the fourth quarter, it's going to be Rams. Might be the Rams. Broncos, Chiefs. Now, here's the game where I would say we've seen this play before. Broncos. Some people saying the best team in the NFL. Chiefs. What's wrong with the Chiefs? Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Andy Reid. Hold my cigarette and beer. Take care of this real quick. And lo and behold, Chiefs are right where they need to be. But then again, Sean Payton is a very, very petty and angry man. I know him personally.
Oh, he's the leader of Team Petty.
He is salty as hell. And he would love nothing better than to put it on the Chiefs and then let them know about that. So we'll see. Ravens, Browns. I mean, you have to play the game. I understand that. Question is, will Shedeur Sanders get into the game? We'll see. But I think the game, I'm now going to put my foot in my mouth. I think the Ravens, they should take care of business.
I don't know. My question was going to be, how many sacks does Myles Garrett get?
Oh, goodness gracious. Myles Garrett's the real. The Browns defense is okay. So it might be interesting. We'll see how that goes. Lions, Eagles tonight. That is going to be a matchup at 8:20. Might have to turn the old computer on for that one, man. And then tomorrow, Cowboys, Raiders. Raiders, give me some hope. Or then again, get the good Cowboys. Could be 48-0. You get the bad Cowboys, they could lose 21-7. I don't know. That's why we play these games. I'm going to be really watching this Ravens-Browns game because I said it's a foregone conclusion that the Ravens are going to win. Watch the Browns, Dylan Gabriel, third Hawaiian quarterback to get a start today. 2 games this year for the Dolphins has been an all Hawaii Bowl, or at least an all Polynesian Bowl. We had Dylan Gabriel and Tua Tagovailoa, and today we had Tua Tagovailoa and Marcus Mariota.
Yeah, so the Dolphins have pushed on them.
Yeah, so we're 1 for 1 against Hawaiian quarterbacks. There's no more starting Hawaiian quarterbacks in the league, so maybe in the playoffs, we'll see. We can hope. Although I doubt the Browns will make the playoffs, and I don't think the Commanders are going to make the playoffs either. Okay. Got 1 more hour of the show. We're going to try to hear from Tua Tagovailoa, Mike McDaniel, maybe even a little Devon Achane. Devon Achane's earned the right to be heard. We're probably going to hear from them next and kind of get you caught up with this Dolphins win, the first ever game for the regular season in Madrid, Spain, 16-13 in overtime. Robert Grieper, Dan Day with you. Stick around. This is Game Day Uncensored Postgame on 104.3 FM, WQAM.
Miami, an Odyssey sports station.
Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
The game is ended, and now we begin. It's Game Day Uncensored, Postgame edition. Real talk, real reaction, real opinions for real Miami football fans on FM 104.3 WQAM, Miami sports leader.
The Dolphins are the only team to have ever won a regular season NFL game in Madrid, Spain, downing the Washington Commanders 16-13 in overtime. It was a back-and-forth game. Seemed at times both teams are trying to lose, but only one team can lose. So the Dolphins took the W. And in just a minute, going to go through my game notes and kind of relive the highlights and lowlights of the game. Plus, later on, going to hear from Mike McDaniel, probably Devon Achane, because Devon Achane is just the man. Crazy game going on with Buffalo Bills and the Tampa Bay Bucks. Tampa Bay, it's back and forth, just scored. They have now gone ahead of the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills also have turned the ball over all over the place, but don't count them out. We'll get you another scoreboard very soon. Robert Grieper along with Dan Day. This Dolphins team, look, if you're an optimist like me, they figured something out. They told us they figured something out against Atlanta. It worked. They had a short week against the Ravens. They said they couldn't implement everything they wanted in a short week. That's why they kind of came up short, kind of really short. Fired Chris Greer. It's a new era. They beat the Buffalo Bills very badly. Bills don't look like they're having their best of times right now. Then today, they grounded out against the Washington Commanders. Maybe they figured something out. They get an off week. Feel good about the win for that off week. Then the New Orleans Saints come to town. And I'm not saying the big, bad New Orleans Saints because they are not big. They are not, well, they are bad in a bad way, not a good way. And they are the New Orleans Saints. That is a 1 o'clock kickoff Sunday, November 30th. Will I be going to the game? No, I'll be here hanging out with you because that's more important than me going to hang out with a bunch of crazy, good-looking Dolphins fans and a bunch of crazy Cajun people that'll be tailgating out there. That does sound fun, though. Grieber, that does sound fun. Maybe. Might be sick that day. My boss is listening, Lynn. I might be sick. Nah, I'm not.
I don't know. You might have a couple of hurricanes that day.
If it wasn't social media, I'd be out there, man.
Sazerac?
Oh, imagine drinking Sazerac at like 10 a.m. in the heat. If you don't know what Sazerac is, it's basically just straight liquor. Oh, and it's not, I mean, I don't like the taste of straight liquor. I'm usually a Jensen's liquor store beer guy, but, you know, go get a Sazerac in New Orleans. Go to Carousel Bar and the Hotel Montleone and get a Sazerac. I can tell Grieber's done it, and that's why he's laughing, because I'm sitting you down a one-way ticket to hell.
There's a reason why Bourbon Street smells the way it does.
Yeah, because someone comes from out of town, is like, I got to try a Sazerac, and then they black out and they throw up and they wake up, and it's just, it's a mess. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun game, and it should be a fun game for the Dolphins because I expect the Dolphins to win that one very easily. But today wasn't easy, but it is another W, and I know some Dolphins fans are saying we're going down a one-way ticket to hell because we're going to be right back where we didn't want to be last year, which is right in the middle with a middling draft pick. But we have a new general manager, or we will have a new general manager today. Though, let's just relish in the win and have the week off. And if you're in Madrid, like our friend Marco was earlier, you're watching us on YouTube or Twitch. And by the way, I do pay attention to the YouTube and Twitchers. I know there were some messages earlier. Just we get caught up sometimes with the phone calls. I know Heat Cult, that's my dude right there. Menu, thank you so much for all that you do and hanging out with us. Dylan Squid 724. I'm telling you, man, I'm listening. I see you guys. Thanks for the Twitch. Thanks for the YouTube. Always checking in, watching in. Menu asks, Grieper, are we going to 8 o'clock tonight?
No.
No, we're not allowed to. I'll stay until midnight. I don't care. Grieper's got to go see Kenny Chesney, so you know how that goes.
And you know, priorities.
6'7", you know.
He has a sexy tractor.
He does have that. Stay on the air till 10 o'clock tonight, or go see Kenny Chesney at a book signing. 6'7". For those that don't know, there's nothing to know about that. Heat Cult says Dangerous is still my guy. Well, Heat Cult, you and that's about it are still riding with Dangerous.
No, Sierra is.
Oh, Sierra's still with him. Surprised she hasn't jumped on the wagon and getting as far away from that person as possible.
Well, that's because she's got the 1-2 step out the door coming up.
That's true. Sierra, I think she's very attractive. I've heard that in real life, she's not as attractive as you might think.
She got goodies.
Her goodies. Jill Szybinski is true when she says 2-0 with Champ Kelly as our general manager. Just saying. Facts are facts. Champ Kelly making a case to stick around with the team. We'll see what happens. Let's get through some of these highlights and lowlights of the game. Of course, it kind of got started early. Dolphins, that's their new MO. They want the ball. They do not defer. They say, give it to us, because they know they have to control the ball a lot and keep that defense off the field. They drive down, and lo and behold, this is going to be a recurring theme. They get stopped. Riley Patterson, 46-yard field goal, 3-0, 10 minutes, 35 seconds in the first quarter. Okay, so what happens on the ensuing possession? Well, Commanders get the ball. Do the exact same thing. Long drive. The first quarter was basically just 2 possessions, one for the Dolphins, one for the Commanders. Commanders get even closer than the Dolphins, but once again, they get stopped. Matt Gay kicks the field goal, 26-yarder, 3-3, 2 minutes, 36 seconds left in the first quarter. Get ready for some more field goal action in the second quarter. Riley Patterson, after a Dolphins drive, stalls out, kicks a 39-yard field goal, 6-3, 11:27 in the second quarter. So what are you going to do if you're the Commanders? Turnabout is fair play. Matt Gay, I didn't mean to rhyme right there, but it did. But Matt Gay doesn't do his part. He misses a 51-yard field goal, 6-3, 7:33 in the second quarter. So, okay, eventually they stop us. They get the ball back. Commanders drive down. What do you think happened, Grieber? They got into scoring position. Washington Commanders, you think they punched it in? No. Matt Gay, hey, 30-yard field goal, 6-6. That was at the very end of the second quarter. So you go into halftime, it's 6-6, pretty indicative of the score, representative of the score. So now they get the ball to start the third quarter, second half, and lo and behold, they drive down the field. Deebo Samuel catches a touchdown pass. We're in trouble. 13-6. Washington Commanders lead, but there's 11:24 left in the third quarter, so you're okay. You drive right back down the field. You're 13 for 13 in the red zone. All 13 times scored a touchdown, so you figure you get down, it's 4th down and goal. 14 for 14, right, Grieper?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah, you know the answer to that. We did not, for the first time this year, stopped in the red zone, turned the ball over on downs. It's 13-6, 6:06 left in the third quarter. Yeah, there's some ensuing possessions here and there. Then all of a sudden, we get the ball in the fourth quarter. Very beginning of the fourth quarter, drive down the field. Ollie Gordon, the second touchdown run. It's 13-13, 12:36 left on the clock, and now it's getting interesting. Marcus Mariota busts a big run on the ensuing possession. 43 yards. They're in scoring position with 10:08 left. 4th and goal. Oops. Zach Ertz slips. He had the angle, but slips. They turn the ball over on 4th down. So turnabout's fair play. 2 failures to convert. Touchdown while 4th and inches on the goal line. And you wonder, man, Zach Ertz slipped. They would have won the game. Well, bad teams, that's what they do. They have a slip here and there, and they don't win the games. So then we get the ball. We don't do too much with Ollie Gordon had a nice run, but we stall out. We punt the ball. This is going to be the Commanders' chance to drive down the field and take the lead. Nope, they muff the punt with a guy who hasn't fielded a punt in over 2 years in the NFL. Once again, bad teams.
And probably won't be fielding one anytime soon.
He might field him with the practice squad, Grieper. Stop being so negative. Yeah, I can see that easily being, hey, when he goes into Monday, like, oh man, damn it. Honey, can you drive me to work? I'm too nervous.
I'm worried if he's asked to go around the entire training facility holding the ball the whole time, and the team has to go knock it out of him.
Yeah. So we get the ball back 4:11, and lo and behold, we're driving down the field. It looks like we might even have to try to stall out a little bit to, not leave so much time on the clock. But lo and behold, we get stopped. Now, okay, it's 4th and goal. Minute 40 or so left on the clock. Kick a field goal. It's tied 13-13. Let your defense handle it. Maybe you'll get a turnover. Nope, we're going to go for it. Came to win, except they didn't convert for the second time on the goal line on 4th down. Turn the ball over. That's okay. Commanders have to go the whole field, or at least 70, 60 yards to kick a field goal. No problem. They get, good 60 yards on there. Kick a long 54-yard field goal. No good. Matt Gay twice. Could have won it. Nope. So you go into overtime. Creeper, I'm sorry if this brings up bad memories. We'll take the ball and we're going to win. Well, it didn't go down like that. Actually, the Dolphins, they did win the toss. We decided to kick because now both teams get one possession. It's not sudden death overtime anymore. Each team gets a possession unless the defensive team scores. So, first play, whoop, Jack Jones, Jack Jones gets the interception. And at that point, let's run the ball a few times, get in position where we want to, and then kick it. Lo and behold, Mike McDaniel, although he could be, every once in a while, be called a little cutesy, actually did a pretty standard football thing. Get where you want to get and kick the damn ball. Sure enough, he did. He could have tried to punch it in. Probably could have. But once again, you get too cutesy. Instead of punching it in, you get it punched out. No, he didn't. He kicked the field goal, and the game is won on Riley Patterson's leg. Devon Achan's name got called so much, I think the announcers are going to be sleeping tonight and hearing his name in their heads because it was just Devon Achan, and he definitely deserved it. And we're going to get to our game balls later in the show, kind of wrap things up, and I'm sure his name will also be repeated a couple of more times. But all in all, the Dolphins find a way in an ugly game to get a win, and there's no such thing as an ugly win. It is just a win, and some Dolphins fans are hoping to win out. I'm all for it. Well, I don't know what that means. I don't know if it means playoffs. I don't know if it means no playoffs. All I know is try to win as much as possible, and maybe you figure some things out along the way. You find some guys you can rely on, some plays you can rely on. Mike McDaniel right now, as for now, is safe on 2-game winning streak. See how the rest of the league plays out today. A lot going on in and around the NFL. A lot of scenarios for this Dolphins team. We do know they have an open date next week, so you can relish this one. You can celebrate the win and get ready for 2 weeks from now against the New Orleans Aints, or Saints, whatever you want to call them. Going to come back, give you some more game notes and what's going on in and around the league. And also later on, we're going to give out our game balls and hear from the coach and maybe Devon Achan. Why not? We said his name enough today. He deserves a little more camera time. I am Dan Day with Robert Grieper. This is Game Day Uncensored, postgame on 104.3 FM, WQAM.
1043 WQAM, Miami's sports leader.
Celebrating the Dolphins' victory in Madrid in overtime, 16-13. A game-winning walk-off kick from Riley Patterson. Dolphins feeling themselves right now, winning three of the last four. Don't want to short them any. And it's okay. We're celebrating the win. We even have an open date. Give us a little more time to celebrate, but we can still be critical and still kind of ask questions about what happened in the game. Doesn't make you a bad fan. Doesn't mean that you're upset or angry. And I know a lot of Dolphins fans, like my friend Raul, who is a huge Hurricanes and Dolphins fan, said, I'm happy with the W, but there was definitely some boneheaded calls by Mike McDaniel. Yes, that is one of the things that we've taken away, Grieper. Mike McDaniel sometimes going for it instead of going for the field goal. You feel as though you got to trust your defense there. Look, Mike McDaniel, this is his fourth year. He is who he is. He's going to do this.
Well, that's why I kind of laughed when we had a couple callers earlier who were like, oh, well, we need another year to see what we got. I'm like, I think you know what you got already. If you don't know what you have in Tua and Mike McDaniel already, there's something going on here because we've all seen it. We know what we have.
And I think Tua, for the most part, had a good game today. No turnovers. That was the big thing. Mark asked Marcus Mariota how he feels about that one interception that probably cost them the game. Nonetheless, Tua, my biggest worry is his arm. And I'm not saying, if we knew Tua before, we didn't have the strongest arm. But it seems like it's been weakening, and I hate to say that. I hope it's some stemming from the thumb issue. I'm hoping this is not a permanent thing because when we had a chance to throw that Hail Mary at halftime for the second time this season, I was like, we are not throwing a Hail Mary. We're going to throw a short pass, and we're going to try to fling the ball back, lateral, and did it. Once again, we did the old pass punt. And it was a joke last week because a couple times on third down, 2 times to be exact, on third down, we threw it deep and it really looked more like a punt than a pass, and Bills intercepted it. This week we did it once to Waddle, and it wasn't just this, Grieper, that the pass looked really bad and should have been picked off, but the Washington Commanders defender had stone hands. For the second week in a row, he didn't just throw it to Waddle mano-a-mano. It was Waddle double covered. So the decision-making and the pass were bad.
Yeah, it's not as if the coverage was just coming over the top or anything that effect. They were stride for stride, double coverage on Waddle down the field, and you still threw it there. It was like, did he not see that? Or did he go, oh, my guy will make the play?
Yeah.
I mean, because that is boneheaded. I mean, that was one of the things that, if you remember, when Tua came out initially, was this guy makes great football decisions.
And he's very accurate.
And I'm not seeing either one right now. And not only that, we'll add to it, he has a spaghetti arm right now.
Yeah, for whatever reason, hopefully, I'm saying, like I said, it's cause for concern if it's a permanent thing that he's lost the strength in that arm. If it's a temporary injury type thing, then it's not good. But yeah, you do have to dream. And once again, we're going to focus on the positive too. But we do want to get into some of this that and they've even said it on some of the television broadcasts that Tua is kind of a defensive coordinator's dream because he's very one-dimensional. He doesn't want to run, and even when he runs, he's not a super fast runner. So you don't have to game plan for that. Now it seems like he can't throw the ball deep downfield, so you don't have to really game plan for that, even though he's got some speed. So now all you really have to worry about is handoff switch, whatever, and then quick intermediate passes.
Yeah, but not only that, think about one of the Dolphins' most productive alignments is when you put a 6th offensive lineman in there and take away another weapon. So what does that tell you? If that's going to be your productive offense, is by putting another big ugly out there and take away a weapon because, number one, you're having protection issues, and for some reason Tua is not able to throw downfield, you are totally telling the defense exactly what you're going to do.
Yeah, you're very, very
and then basically telling them, okay, stop us.
Right.
And I'd rather not to be in that situation, because if you're going to play that, 9 times out of 10, you're going to lose that battle. And it's not good.
So Mike McDaniel's, let's just say, suspect play calling. Tua his deficiencies, at least for now, one of the things that worries us. And the only other thing that really worries me is the defense. It's really, really bend but don't break. And it's very obvious because the Commanders got everything they wanted. But in the end, they did stop them for a lot of field goals. But you play a really good team, and it feels like sometimes the bend don't break might be a little bit of trouble. The good thing, and there's one really, really good thing on this Dolphins team, and we talked about it earlier, that is Devon Achane. Devon Achane is an absolute, I would say absolute star. He's borderline getting to be a superstar in this league. You don't want to throw that term out too lightly, but he's now currently the third leading rusher in the league. He also throws in a lot of reception yards. He's carrying this team. The numbers are there. It's just everything he's done this year and last year, let's be honest, last year he was doing a lot of this stuff too. It's just been absolutely fantastic. The running game and the offensive line. Hey, we give credit where credit is due. We'll knock you when you're down, but we'll also pick you back up and tell you, let's do better. And when you do good, we tell you do good. Like I said, at the beginning of the season, you're going to have to grow just like they're growing. They're rookies. Jonah Savianaya, Kenneth Grant, they're learning on the job. When you start a new job, it takes you a little while to get your footing. You're not the best on the first day. Lo and behold, Kenneth Grant's making a few more plays, and you don't hear Jonah Savianaya's name as much anymore. You don't see him getting blown up as much anymore. And you see the running game getting going. You see Tua not getting sacked, although he did get sacked a bunch of times today. But that was more of him kind of holding on to the ball. But they're getting a little bit better. Get Austin Jackson back, maybe, just maybe,
Maybe Jason Sanders back too?
Maybe Jason Sanders. Even I know some Dolphins fans will shudder a little bit, but maybe Liam Eichenberg back? Maybe not. We'll see. Tua sacked 3 times today. Last week, 0 times, but 3 times today. They're pretty bad sacks, but I think that was more of a mobility issue too with Tua, which once again is one of our concerns. But offensive line playing better. You got those running backs that are running. Jalen Waddle drops 2 passes, but he continues to look, for me, being a number one. Greg Dulcich, he looks like a good enough tight end. And then, of course, you got to give props to Jordan Brooks and Terrell Dotson. They have just played absolutely out of this world. But once again, Jordan Brooks, if he doesn't make the Pro Bowl, I'm going to be extremely upset. He leads the league in tackles, and he makes big-time tackles. You see why. It's not like they just, they're loose and they just happen to be in his zone. He is out there, man, making it happen.
And he's a leader.
And he's the leader, one of the leaders of this team. We've been told that in the locker room, at least, you can expect that Jordan Brooks, as we know now, especially, is a leader, getting rid of the papa shot and calling out the plays. Although Tyrell Dotson has the green dot on the back of his head. They say Zach Sealer, although this has been a year that Zach Sealer would like to redo, because today he really didn't even have that much. 2 assists, 1 tackle, but he is a leader in the locker room. And it seems like a lot of the leaders in the locker room come from the defensive side. Once again, Chop Robinson, not a lot today, but Jack Jones, big day for Jack Jones. Got a pass interference called on him. Bad call. And I think even if you're not a homer, bad call. The rules analyst and even the analysts on TV were like, that was good coverage. How do you even call that? And no, but he made the big interception, and I thought he played well today. And I've been critical of Jack Jones in that he does so much pass interference that sometimes the refs just get tired of calling it on him. Today, he is there, man. So got to give him credit for what he did today. And once again, Ashton Davis, whoo, that was a big time. I don't even know what you call trip that he got on the running back for the Washington Commanders as he was about to break through Chris Rodriguez, who, although he cut us up a little bit, only finished with 79 yards. So I don't know. There's things, every team you can worry about. You can micromanage and get nervous about everything. The Bills, if you're a Bills fan, you're probably in the dumps right now after getting killed by the Dolphins, and you're in a dogfight with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But this is it. And we talked about it. Now, Brett Favre, the NFL's all-time leader in interceptions and fumbles. Also a Hall of Famer and one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. The Bills are who they are. They're going to make plays, and they're going to have games where they look like no one could beat them. Then they're going to have games where they look like last week, where what do you do with the Bills? Is this a Division II football team? That's who they are. You're taking the good with the bad. And their only hope is that they can be good for a stretch of hopefully at the end of the year in the playoffs, hope for a stretch of 4 good games. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but it's one of those things. The New England Patriots look to be for real. I think we have a large enough sample size now, Grieper, to say that the New England Patriots are a good team.
Hate the Drake.
I'm not excited about it. And I don't want to make the comparison. I mean, I know that's how could they, tear it down and build it all up? That's their organization. The Dolphins are going to do what the Dolphins want to do, and hopefully it works. But it goes to show you how important the draft is, mentality is. Like we said, the Bears are a great example of that. What did they do? They drafted a young quarterback that they hope would be a really good quarterback. They drafted him also a wide receiver to help out. And then this season, they made it a priority to get big, proven, healthy offensive linemen. This team is now seemingly rolling, although they're only up 16-10 on the Vikings right now, with 9:42 left to go in the game. Your Packers have pulled ahead of the New York Giants. Oh, no, the Giants have pulled ahead of the Packers, 20-19. Jordan Love not having his best day, 9 for 18, 102 yards and a touchdown. Got Jameis Winston on the other side. What are you going to do?
I can't help it. Our offense is offensive.
Yeah, sometimes, man. Sometimes. I don't know if the Chargers are going to mount this comeback. This Grieper, I'm thinking it's curtains for the LA Chargers and the Jaguars. Jaguars up 35-6.
Yeah, we kind of called that one.
8 minutes. Now, this isn't Texas A&M, South Carolina of yesterday, where it was 30-3 at halftime, but Texas A&M came back and won. Jaguars are at home. They're up 35-6 on the Chargers. Like last week, the Jaguars blew a huge lead, a big lead at least, against the Texans, but I don't know, 35-6 with 8 minutes left. That is, Steelers put it on the Bengals. The Bengals can't get Joe Burrow back fast enough. Steelers are up 20-9 with about 13 minutes left in the game. The rest of the afternoon, 49ers, Cardinals. This is at 4 o'clock, another 4 o'clock game. The Seahawks, Rams, 4:25. Chiefs, Broncos. Are the Chiefs going to be the Chiefs of old and just get a win? Or are the Broncos the new sheriffs in the West? AFC West, exactly. Ravens and the Browns. I'm a little nervous because I told you that the Ravens, it's a foregone conclusion they're going to win. Usually you say that, and that means the Browns are going to win. The real question is, will Shedeur Sanders get some PT today? Be interesting. Lions and Eagles tonight at 8:20. Very excited about that. And then Monday, 8:15, Cowboys and Raiders. The score we're really worried about, though, is our Miami Dolphins, 16-13 winners in overtime in Madrid. They defeat the Washington Commanders. We're going to get to our game balls next. Kind of tell you who are some of the keys to getting the big W over the W's today in Madrid. Robert Grieper, Dan Day. Final segment next of Game Day Uncensored postgame on 104.3 FM WQAM.
Hey, we want to hear what you have
Now, let's get back to the Game Day Uncensored postgame show on FM 104.3 WQAM, Miami's sports leader.
If you pulled the old Dan Day move this morning and got up at around 8:30 and said, the Dolphins are in Madrid, Spain. It's time to do some breakfast beers and some mimosas, and let's take in the European experience. Started drinking those mimosas, started drinking those Bloody Marys. Dolphins started scoring field goals, and you started living the good life. Right about now, you're about ready to hit the hay. Catch a few Z's before round number 2 of your day. I have not been drinking, though, by the way. I would have if I wasn't working, but Robert Grieber, I am a little more responsible than that, and I also don't want to be slurring all over the place on the air. So I withheld going out and doing that while watching the game. Maybe later. Maybe later. I have to do some groceries.
That's where I miss the good old days of the supermarkets where you could sip and stroll.
Ooh, that is good. I do have to go to the grocery store after this.
There's nothing like a supermarket that has a bar in the supermarket.
Do you like the 9:30 game? Because you have
I actually like it because you actually fit in another game throughout the entire day.
But you have the rest of the afternoon. If it's your team that you're watching, do you like it that now you have the rest of the afternoon to kind of piddle around?
Oh yeah, you could either decide to watch 3 other games.
Oh yeah.
Or you go out, run some errands, mow the yard, do whatever you need to do. The whole day's in front of you.
Okay. So there's some upsides to these European or overseas games.
Or like me, go see Kenny Chesney.
Kenny Chesney, Tractor Sexy, somewhere, somehow. Some of the keys and some of the main reasons we won today, let's get to them right now. We have got the offensive. Let's start with the offensive player of the game. The offensive player of the game is sponsored by Ed Morse Sawgrass Auto Mall. Grieper, give me your offensive player of the game.
I'm going with the easiest of all easiest. That would be Achane.
I can understand that.
How could you not go with him today? I mean, look at that 4th down call that they went for it with Gordon after Achane went out. If Achane was in there, probably be a different story.
Yeah, it just seems like he makes really good decisions and he hits the hole really fast. Pause.
But he just opens up the whole offense because you have to account for him at all times.
Yes, you have to account for his pass catching, his running. He seems to always be, moving forward as opposed to backwards. So, 21 carries, 120 yards, no touchdowns, though. But he also did it with a couple of catches. He had 5 receptions, led the team in receptions, 45 yards. He has just by far been the best player. Number 1 best player on the field today, but best player definitely for the Dolphins all year long. Kind of some slimmer pickings here after we get past Devon Achane because, like we said, they called his name a lot today. They called his number a lot today. But I'm going to give it to the man that scored the touchdown for our Miami Dolphins, one Ollie Gordon II. He is running with physicality. He has given us that thunder lightning combo in the backfield. Has 9 carries, 45 yards, 1 touchdown, and he had a couple of bigger runs, and he broke off some big runs. He seems to be seeing the holes a little bit better and making his decisions a little bit quicker. So Ollie Gordon II, I'll give it to the rookie because, like I said, he gives us a little more diversity, and this team's trying to find more and more diversity, and they have started to find it with that Thunder Lightning, Devon Achane and Ollie Gordon, which now brings us to our player of the game, sponsored by JM Lexus. JM Lexus has the best team in the business, a 4.8 Google rating, over 2,000 reviews and counting. 2,000 reviews on Google. JM Lexus, West Sample Road, Margate. Hit me with it, Grieper. Who is your JM Lexus player of the game?
I'm doubling up with Achane. I mean, it's a gimme today. I mean, without Devon Achane, where would this team be right now? And they are truly, transparent about exactly what they're going to do. We're going to throw it to him. We're going to have him run the ball. We're going to use him as a decoy. He is going to be out there the whole time, and you have to account for him at all times, no matter what.
Robert Greek, I'm right there with you, echoing your sentiments. It is by far head and shoulders Devon Achane. Like you said, I shudder to think what this team would look like without him, and I pray that we don't have to see that day because I really don't know where you get much of your offense from. I really don't know how you move the ball. I really don't know what you would do without him. He is such a major part of the plan. They even said Mike McDaniel admitted it. Much is expected from him. Much is put on his plate. He is a perfectionist and works really hard at it. And we are extremely lucky that Devon Achane is one of us. And, oh, yeah, by the way, he is taking notice. and he will want to be paid handsomely in this offseason. And don't play around. Whoever the general manager may be, go ahead and give that man his money. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not a GM. I'm not the smartest man in the world, but some things you can just easily see. Pay that man. I wasn't the one. No, you were the one. You said, Christian Wilkins, give that man his money. I said, hold up. Devon Achane, you pay that man. You pay that man for what he's done and what he's going to be able to do. Because if you don't, I know about 31 other teams that'll probably be willing to do that.
Could you imagine him being in the backfield for Kansas City right now? Oh, my God.
I see what he does with the Dolphins. I can imagine him doing great things with any team, but I only see him doing it with the Dolphins, so let's hope. All right, that's now going to bring us to the drive of the game, which is sponsored by the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event. Get offers on select models now. Learn more at Lexus.com. I want to go with the final drive of the game, the overtime drive, and I'm going to include the Jack Jones interception because it was a vital part of that drive happening. The interception, would have liked to see him take it to the house, a little sweetener, as they say, with the interception. But Jack Jones, sometimes he holds more than he defends. Today, he defended his you-know-what off. Got the interceptions. Few plays later, got a couple of Devon Achane runs in there that broke off for like 10 yards. Got ourselves in position. Didn't get too cute with it. Mike McDaniel kicks the field goal. Riley Patterson, 26-yard chip shot. We win the game 16-13. That is our Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event drive of the game. Oh, man. Can't say enough about Devon Achane. So much so, I don't want to hear from Tua Tagovailoa today, Robert. I think we should want to hear from Devon Achane. He worked hard today. So he spoke. Actually, he was the first person to go to the podium today. What does that say? I don't know. Let's hear what Devon Achane had to say in Madrid after a 16-13 win.
It was a great team win. Like you said, it was a great game. It came down. We had to go to overtime, and thankful that we came off the win. Defense got a big stop, and all we had to do was close it up. Yeah, I'm good. It was just my back. But other than that, I'm good. If I wasn't good, I would never came back in the game. But and then how the game was going, it was mandatory. I came back in. Just know that I see like my teammates out there fighting, and I wanted to be a part of it. I mean, he made great plays. Like you said, Jack is one of the key players on defense, and him showing up in that big moment just shows what type of team it is, and for us to go and close it out. I feel like when we play combat football, and the results show. Like I said, man, win, lose, like I said, we got to come out with the mentality that, like, we're going to play 100% no matter what our record is, who we playing. If we lost last week, we won last week, we just got to have that same mentality. And like I said, when we, no matter who we playing against, when we stand ahead of the sticks, when we don't have those little issues, those little mistakes, we can compete with anybody. Like I said, it's not a lie. Like I said, the reps I'm getting with my offense, the O-line, and the blocking on the edge, and it just makes it easier for me. I don't got to do too much. Just make a couple guys miss, but that's my job. And when we all working together, I feel like it's very slow for me. I feel like it's a perfect time for us, to get our bodies right and make sure when we come back that we're not slacking, and make sure we stay, like you said, with the same momentum. And us having a bye week, coming from out here, it's a great perfect time for us. If you got those lingering injuries, to get right. It was amazing, man. It was exciting, just being out here. We was out here for like a week or so, and just the fans out here, they was amazing. And like you said, they was interacting with us and the other team, and it was a great feeling to be out here and playing in front of them. I'm very happy for him. Like you said, he stepped up and we needed him, and he made a play. And like you said, I see him, putting the work in week out at practice. So when we come to the game, I know what he's gonna do. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, no matter where we play at, international, at home, away, I just feel like, we just got to come to play. Once we, like all special teams, defense, offense, once we all on one accord, I mean, we can come out and play against whoever.
What has that done to your offense, considering you guys use the break plenty?
It's been big for us. Like you said, it's just a mentality thing when you come in. Obviously, teams know when he come in, like, we're running the ball. And, I mean, as you see, when he came in, we positive yards every time. And, I feel like, something that we just going to keep doing until, somebody stops it. It was amazing experience. Just, this is different than where we come from. And, coming out here, just seeing the people and, the places. And, it was fun. It's this very something, that you can go home and, talk about. I'm feeling good, man. Like you said, we wanted to come out here and play a great game for the fans, and I feel like we did that. Both teams, like it wasn't like a blowout. It was a very close game to the end, and I feel like that's what the fans needed to see. Playlist, Young Boy and Raw Wave.
Ooh, Young Boy and Rod Wave, Devon Achan's pregame playlist. He needs to listen to that over and over and over again before every single game, because if he's going to be playing the way he's playing now, going to be a lot of Young Boy and Rod Wave. Grieber, we got to get out of here. Got to make way for whoever's next, but they're telling us we got to roll. We got to win today. That's all that really matters. Who's on your playlist today? Now we know.
Well, you know where I'm about to go, so, I got to go see some Kenny Chesney, so it's all good.
So Kenny Chesney, Chapter 6. I think I don't know what my playlist today is going to be. I think, so I got this new, actually, I got it. I know exactly who I'm going to listen to. There is a reggae artist out of Spain by the name of Lone Arc Rhythm Factory. Lone Arc Rhythm Factory. And it's just reggae beats, rhythms the whole time. So since in honor of the Dolphins winning the first game ever in Spain and me wanting to listen to some reggae, I'm going to go to Lone Arc Rhythm Factory. I think it's Lone Arc Rhythm Factory. Nonetheless, it's Lone Arc Rhythm. So just know that I'll be listening to that. I got to go grocery shopping and go pick up some groceries. That's always the fun part. And then probably going to watch the rest of these football games with my dudes, Giuseppe and Nathan. Then get ready for the week that will be. Of course, this Bills and Bucks game, these two teams are truly what do you call it? A reflection of their quarterbacks. They have gunslinging quarterbacks, and this game has been as sleepy as the Dolphins game was. This is the exact opposite. It has been dynamic. Bills lead 37-32 with 8:42 left in the game, and I'm telling you, Baker Mayfield and Josh Allen are dueling.
I'm just wondering what the over was.
Oh, crazy right there, man. Another interesting thing that I was noticing while we were listening to Devon Achan is the Bears and the Vikings are neck and neck. It's 16-10, and it's about 3 minutes left in the game. Ben Johnson, who is the coach of the Bears, had the ball around midfield, and it was 4th and 6. And you think, is he going to go for it? Is he going to punt? Well, he's not Mike McDaniel. He decided to punt and trust his defense. So we'll see if that comes to bite him or not. We'll see. But a lot of people questioning that Mike McDaniel going for it on 4th down. We could have kicked a field goal. Maybe you give too much time on the clock. The announcers even go, whatever, you're 3-7. Like, I don't think that's the way a coach would ever think. But will be interesting to see how that plays out. Ben Johnson trusting his defense. Like I said, Mike McDaniel could have easily today said, if he kicked the field goal and they came back and drove the field, he could have easily just said, I trust my defense, and it just didn't work out this time. But all's well that ends well. You got to win, and now you got a week off. We have 1 week off. Then the New Orleans Saints come to town 2 weeks from today. It is the Dan-Day Bowl. My two favorite teams facing each other. Cannot wait for that. So, Robert Grieber, it's going to be a little while. So 2 weeks from today, ready to set your calendar and come on out for the post game of the Dolphins and the Saints?
Can't wait.
Maybe another win for the Dolphins. Dare we dream that this team just keeps on winning? We shall find out all along the way. For Robert Grieber, I am Dan Day. This has been Game Day Uncensored Postgame on 104.3 FM WQAM.
this hurricane season. Keep it on 104.3 WQAM